I can't tell you today how proud and energized I am about my Miami Hurricane football program. Welcome to a Football Friday, heading into a monster weekend with Wildcard weekend. Playoffs tonight, Indiana, Oregon, and last night. I can't be any more prouder of my football program. Last 24 years, the University of Miami has been wandering in the desert blind. Coming off of decades of being the dominant program in the college world, we were walking in the last 24 years in the desert blind. We were meandering on. We had 7-5 seasons, 7-6 seasons. I don't know what had happened to the program. We sold our souls to a Ponzi scheme guy called Nevin Shapiro, and we just lost our way. The last straw was the Ohio State national championship game. And to watch those guys fight last night, to watch a former Cane who's won 2 national championships as a player get one more step closer to the ultimate prize, a national championship, was just, it was emotional. That Miami running back's nice. Fletcher's pop died a couple months ago, and he's running with a cause. He's such a good kid. You guys would all love him. He's got the personality of Saquon Barkley. He's just a great leader, a great kid. You would love him. Every time I talk to him, just a great kid. Is it true that Tony Kidd is only 18 years old? He turned 18 years old in September. I think he's got Devontae Smith talent. I think he's got Odell Beckham skills. He may be the best wide receiver ever to play at that place, and that's Michael Irvin and Andre Johnson. See this right here? I love that you think that. We're back when we win it. You're only back when you're on top, not climbing. You're not back if you're still climbing. We're still climbing. We're at the summit. How many people fall off the summit? Right? Seals, congrats on your Canes making it to the national championship game. Also, I came in 3rd place in my department last night. Kyle, how about this? You see this here? Well, when you go through Texas A&M, Ohio State, the defending champ, a 13-1 Ole Miss team, and now you're probably going to play the number 1 team in the country, and you've gone back-to-back double-digit seasons for the first time in 23 years, you're climbing. What a battle last night. Good shit. That was as good as it gets. I love the whole thing. And I'm with Mario. We talk about it all the time, he and I. We talk daily. Everybody keeps bringing, we don't like, just like the Eagles didn't like defending. I don't like the phrase, are you back? 31-27. And I got to say this to you about Carson Beck. 18 seconds left. He crosses the goal line. I wonder what his emotions were. I haven't spoken to him yet. When he crossed that goal line and everybody in Georgia and all the pundits around the nation were saying, he ain't it. What a gratifying moment for him. Going across the goal line. And you want to hear something that's right. That's a Kobe Bryant line. Job's not finished. I'm with you. Okay? I'm with you. It's a Kobe Bryant line. 18 seconds left. He crosses the finish line. Canes are now 13-2. 275 play drives for them to win it. If I'm Carson Beck, I'm feeling pretty good about myself today. You want to hear something that's kind of wild? Am I right, Xander, when I say this? That he was teammates with Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Keely Ringo at Georgia. Am I right when I say that? He was teammates with all them guys? And he's still at the University of Miami, right? Having transferred from Georgia. I know, and he's got 2 national championship rings as a backup to Stetson Bennett. There's a shot that he could win 3 national championship rings. 3 rings in his career. And closing it up as a starter. How you doing? He was teammates with all the Eagle guys. I wonder what they're feeling for him. That was an iconic moment for the program last night. Nope, Sills, keep the same energy you do with us. Congrats on your win, but it's nothing. You haven't done anything, okay? We have only seen it one time. By the way, the dog, hey, you're dead on, dude. Okay? You're right. And screw you, Carson Beck. You're right. They haven't won anything. You know what they've won? Hey, Marsh, you know what they've won? They've won the opportunity to play for a national championship. But you know what I used to say to that? Okay, great. I mean, it's funny. I got some of the players asking me to show my rings to them. And I'm like, guys, no. This is the now. This is now. Don't worry about what we did. Make your own history. I'm very proud of the guys. It was really a great moment. Now, to put everything in context to what Marshall's saying here. Hey, dude, you got 60 more minutes. You know what this reminds me of, Xander? This reminds me of the movie Miracle. You beat the Russians. Hey, don't let history slip through your fingers now. Okay? Remember, they had another game to play. Beating the Russians, great. Beating Ohio State, great. Beating A&M at Kyle Field, great. If you lose in the title game, shit, it means nothing. You got to win. You got to win the championship. Then you're back. Do you know I've waited 25 years to say we're back? Sills, I got Oregon tonight. I got Indiana tonight. You know why? I look at that Indiana team, I see Xander's old Alabama teams. Oh, one last thing here on this game. Is this not ironic? Mario Cristobal's mother and father are Castro refugees. Do you know what that is? They're Castro refugees. They were thrown out of Cuba because of their political affiliation. They were put on boats. Some of Mario's people came over on the Mario boat lift. They couldn't speak English. I went to school. I've had numerous dinners over there. God rest their soul, they're no longer with us. Mario goes to Columbus High School. You want to hear this? Xander, you're going to love this. Do you know where Fernando Mendoza went to high school? Columbus High School in South Florida. So the coach went to Columbus High School also. So in a national championship game, you're going to have Columbus High School alums, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. How's that? On the flip side, that Miami team will beat the crap out of the Cowboys. Right? Tony in Miami is going to be a top 5, 10 pick in 2028. The kid's 18 years old. He's 18 years old, man. Okay? Sure do, Sills. Trump said last night he plans to do something nice for the Cuban refugees here in the States. Let me tell you, Ybor City and Tampa, Little Havana in Miami. Let me tell you something, Sean. It's a great community. All my Cuban friends, I love those folks down there. It was one of the greatest experiences in my life. And I love the Cristobal family. Louis, Mario, the whole family, man. Just great people. Can you imagine that? He went to Columbus High School. He's an explorer. And now he's going to go against, potentially, if they win tonight, Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, who went to Columbus High School as well. That's a great story, guys. Great story. Big Z will join us at 3:30. We will have our friend Mike North, his Packers-Bears game, which is one of the great games in NFL rivalry history. Actually, is Bears versus those Packers. That's going to be a big game to watch for Eagle fans. And then, of course, the great Philly Godfather will join us. That'll be at 5:30. All right. So first and foremost, my takeaways, or what I think is going to happen in this game on Sunday. As we always do on a Football Friday, please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Thank you very much. You tell me, score in this ball game. And what I do is I basically take some of your takes and I take a look at the score and I round it up and I tell you what I think ends up happening in this ball game. By the way, I've heard John McMullen just take a gigantic dump on the San Francisco 49ers all week long by saying they have nothing. Okay? So we're going to expand on that. They have nothing. Zero. Nothing. And I'll ask you this. Do you think that New York Giants team in week 1, what was the better roster? The 49ers roster right now or that New York Giant roster? Now here, the Giants got a pretty good front. Didn't really play up to expectations this year, though, did it? Who do you think has a better roster going into this game on Sunday? The New York Giant team that you lost to or the 49ers that you're going to play on Sunday? Niners. Duh. Okay? So the 49ers have a better roster than the team that beat you. I hate that conversation. I don't concern myself with what the 49ers have or have what they're going to put on a field. You need to concern yourself with what you can do and what you can't do and what you're going to try to do against that supposedly nothing team. If you get beat by that 49er team on Sunday, it'll be one of the biggest disappointments in Eagle history. You'll go from one of the greatest moments to one of the most embarrassing moments. All I've heard all week long is that 49er team doesn't belong on the field with you. Okay? If you know anything about football, this is not a 7-game series. This is a one-off. Now, how I see this game playing out, I'm going to go down the line with John. And I'm going to say this. By the way, I don't think your offense is just going to flip a switch. That's asinine to think that. You've just watched 5 months of football, and all of a sudden, well, it's playoff time. You're going to reinvent yourself into being something different. You're not. Because you know why? You don't have the experienced play caller to put you in better positions. Do you think you have a play caller that's going to ramp up the offense or to do exotic things? I could see if you had, an experienced play caller like Kellen Moore. But, bro, you're not going into this game doing anything different. You're going in this game being the 2025 Eagles. And is that enough? Listen, I think Philadelphia is going to play this game this way. They're going to be conservative. 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 And you know what they're going to do? They're going to wait for Brock Purdy, and they're going to wait for him to make a mistake on defense. Okay? The Eagles are, what are they heading into this game? The Eagles are +6 in turnovers. Niners are -6 in turnovers. Just be patient with the Niners. They're going to turn the ball over. They're not physical. They are going to turn the football over. And they are an opportunistic coaching staff and an opportunistic team. They're not a dominant football team anymore. At least not in 25. You're not dominant. Last year, 22, 70 sacks. Last year with the running attack, you were a dominant football team. And on the other side of the ball as well. You're not dominant on defense. You still give up the run. And you can at times be exploited on the edges. You're not dominant. You're good. You're experienced and good, which is great. Your experience has, would we not agree that experience, how many games this year, guys, do you believe the experience has won more so than schemes, driving the ball down someone's throat? How many games do you think you won based on experience when you had 12 one-score games this year? How many? How many games would you say you won based on the amount of experience that you have when you go into a ball game? What do you think? 6? Like the Lions and the Packer games? That was experience, in my opinion. Being patient. Okay? Rams, Reyes, okay? The Bucks, right? Okay? You're not going into this game. Like, again, see 31 points? How many times have you scored 31 points this year against good teams? Like, never. And you keep saying to me, San Francisco has nothing. It's not like you've done anything this year against bad defensive football teams. You're just not dominant over there. And all of a sudden, it's wishful thinking. I'm not saying you're not going to win. I've got, in this ball game, I've got 23-17. You win the game. I just don't think San Francisco, get this, that game will look closer, but it won't feel closer. They'll get a touchdown late. You'll be up like 23-10 going into the fourth quarter, and you're just going to take care of them defensively. I don't think San Francisco, I agree with John, I don't think San Francisco has enough. Okay? I don't have enough. Now, again, the San Francisco 49ers, they have a better defense than the Bears. So they have a better defense than the Giants. Those are teams you lost to. Their metrics are better on that side of the ball than those other teams. Bears don't have a better defense than the 49ers. And they got a heck of a coordinator in Dennis Allen. I just don't think they're going to go into Philadelphia. And get this, the score may look close. It's going to be one of those games you're never going to have the game in doubt. Because I think San Francisco has gone away from being a power team to now, get this, and a somewhat gadget team with Debo. The sex appeal of the 49ers has been lost when you got rid of the gadget player in Debo. You had McCaffrey, you had Kittle, and then you had Debo doing all these exotic jet sweeps and running the ball. That dynamic's gone. It's a generic offense now. McCaffrey lined up in different slots all over the place, and Kittle. If those guys can't move the sticks for San Francisco, and I think they will, but not enough. I think they're limited. I just don't think they have it. Now, again, turnovers are going to be enormous in this game. And the Eagles do not turn the football over. I think San Francisco is going to turn the ball over twice in this ball game. And that's going to be their death nail. And I think that's all going to come on the defensive side of the football. A pick, fumble in not in the red zone, but on the 49er side of the field. I think they end up going down that lane. And in my opinion, I think you're going to win the turnover battle in this ball game because they're a finesse football team. They are not a football team that, to me, can handle a dominant football team or a physical football team. Not that the Eagles have been physical. You have not been physical this year whatsoever. Okay? So I got you winning this game. 23-17. I don't think they can score more than 17 points. And I don't think you're going to need more than 23 to beat that football team. Okay? So, yeah, I don't. They're pretty good on special teams. McCaffrey, obviously. But if you really dissect McCaffrey's runs per carry, he's under 4. Where they beat you and where he gets you out in space. And you got Cooper DeJean out there. Cooper DeJean versus McCaffrey. That's the matchup. Keep an eyeball on that one. McCaffrey is a hell of a player. Cooper DeJean's a hell of a player. Cooper DeJean's a better ball player than Quinyon Mitchell. We said this 2 years ago, that he would be a better ball player. He is. He's a better tackler. He's a better all-around player. He may not have the skill set that Q has to play that one position, but he can never do the versatility stuff that Cooper DeJean does. Shit, you can actually, if you had to put Cooper DeJean at linebacker. I mean, I don't think Nakobe Dean's that much bigger than him if he is bigger than him. You could theoretically play that guy at will linebacker, and I think he would excel. Okay? No such thing as a zone lockdown corner. Keep telling you that. Never happened. He's great. Leave it at that. It's why he won't be first team All-Pro. He may not even be second team All-Pro. I think he is, but we'll see when that team comes out. No. Would you rather be considered a lockdown corner or an All-Pro? I thought it didn't matter to you guys. Or would you rather be one of the best players on the Philadelphia Eagle defense? I thought that shit didn't matter to you guys. What do you care then? One day you tell me that shit don't matter. Now when you're talking about your guy, it does. Got it. Standard. All right. So let's go to the next one here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to play a game here. If the Eagles win the game versus the 49ers, why will they win this game? What will be the reason that they win this game? Seals Ole Miss get screwed on the Hail Mary. Look like pass interference. Do you think they're really going to call that game on that play? They're going to call that game on that play? Never happened. Appreciate it, though, Anthony. And I did think it was pass interference. They threw the ball with 3 seconds left. They would have had another shot with a 15-yard penalty. Remember, it's not a spot foul. Defense. Let's see here. Neutralizing Christian McCaffrey. Davis, fourth quarter sack. Defense and special teams. Let's see. Still says Bears game was an anomaly and a one of. Now he's saying we can't stop the run. You're 23rd in stopping the run. You can't. You're bottom third of the league. Don't take my word for it. Look at what you did for 5 months. That's not an opinion. You're 23rd in run defense. You're making it sound like you fucking stopping the run and you're 5th. You're not. You're a better pass coverage team. You're not a very good You're okay. Now, it's improved since week 14, since you got Jalen. But people still run the football on you. I mean, bro, what are you talking about? So you're saying Barkley goes off. Based on what metric? Based on what? The Niners defense being bad? Okay. Didn't we stop Cook's number one running back? We stopped the Lion. Bro, you're 23rd for the year running the football against you. The hell are you talking about? Let me double check that. Let me see here. On what you were on your defense and run defense. Stop talking shit like bro, you're 22nd in run defense. Give me a break. Sills, why are you moving the goalposts for the Eagles when come to Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, you give them excuses? They're not as good a football roster as you. It's not a goalpost move. It's reality. Do you really think the Buffalo Bills have as good a roster as you? That's not a goalpost move. That's like saying that the San Francisco 49ers heading into this game had the same roster as you. What are you talking about? Get this. Look at this guy. You know damn well we're better than 23rd. No, I don't. I saw all year long teams running the ball for 130 yards on you. That's not, bro, that's reality. I don't think San Francisco's going to do that because I don't think they have the O-line. The Eagles help. You're 20 fucking second in run defense. Yeah. So our D-line has to get their hands up. They do a great job because of Clint Hurt. All right, so defense. Now, I'm going to ask the other question. If the Eagles lose this game, why will they lose this game? What would be the reason? If you win the game, it's defense, and you were able to establish the run. Okay, I agree, 100%. If you lose this game to San Francisco, what happened? How could you lose this game? Excellent. 3 and outs. What else? Bro, if Ringo's playing, you're in trouble. Turnovers. And the Niners aren't very good at getting turnovers. Can't run the ball. What we're doing is we're going to be putting down talking points. This is what you guys are doing here. Nick and KP. I'll put that in there. Missed field goal. Special teams. Too conservative. Sounds like you guys have some really good talking points going into this ball game. Penalties in the secondary. What you saw in that Washington game, you are not going to see in that San Francisco game. I thought it was rigged last night a little bit too, but okay. Penalties. Undisciplined. Okay. 3 and outs, turnovers. Can't run the ball. Nick and Kevin Patullo, special teams, and too conservative. You know, you could put all those out in one, and that could be your game plan. You can't establish the run. You can't win first and second down. Here's the key to the game. Guys, if the Eagles are going to win this game, they've got to have their best game on first and second down. Name me a game this year where you thought they were really good on first and second down. Can you? And by the way, I'm just throwing this out there. Biden shows up. Funny. Was there a game? Minnesota, Bob? Was that the game they won first and second down? Did a pretty good job in? By the way, as much as I hang on I want to show you this. And I want to give you guys kudos. Okay? I'm going to give you kudos here on something here that I think is important. So I hang on that Chicago game a lot, right? The 281 that they put up on you. Well, look at this. What defense do you think finished third in National Football League this year? Anybody know? What defense was number 3 this season? But what defense? Minnesota Vikings were third. You know, they had a perfect passer rating. They did some great things. That defense is third ranked in the National Football League. The third ranked defense that you had your best game against, I don't think you just dismiss that. Brian Flores is a hell of a coordinator. I mean, the Bears are 30th. The Bears have a very bad defense. They're not very good. But the Vikings have a great defense. And you did a pretty good job on that. I was going back and looking at the numbers last night and what you did against respected teams. And Brian Flores and Robert Saleh run a lot of the same shit. And they run a lot of the same stuff. You see the multiple fronts. You see multiple coverages, multiple to the skies coverages. You see a lot of the same things that Saleh does that Brian Flores does. Moving guys around a lot. Internal stunts. You see T-twist. You see a lot of T-stunts. So you see things inside that they kind of do a lot of. That's what I'm saying. And Jalen torched it. I think you went up tempo in that game a lot more too. I'm expecting the Eagles to go up tempo more against San Francisco. The one thing that they can improve their offense on, quicken the tempo. Get the tempo going. They're better with tempo. When they sit back and they go 5 steps or 7 steps and they don't go tempo, I don't think they're very good. As a matter of fact, I think the offense this year has been so underachieving. I don't really think that's a great offense. John thinks I don't know where you think it's. I get this. You guys tell me numbers don't matter. All of a sudden now they do. Well, I mean, as a unit, how can you have individual numbers in the unit not be good? You know? How can you have right? Both guys just a tad over 1,000 yards. That's 60 yards a game for both guys. That's not terrible, but that's average in today's NFL that throws the football. And the running back barely got over 1,000. Am I right? He got 1,003 or something like that. Maybe he got more. I don't remember what the number was. Okay. And so to me, again, you look at as a unit, they haven't been able to move the sticks. So for me, if the Eagles win the game, this is going to come down to establishing the run and also that you won first and second down. Think about, hey, Bob, tell these folks this. If the Eagles win first and second down, helps your defense, helps your time of possession, it helps your field position, it helps every single thing in this game and everything on both sides of the football bleed off it. Last year, you dominated on first and second down. This year, you have not been very good on first and second down, which has led to 3 and outs. It's the key to your offense. No other way is he not looking at that Robert Saleh. We have got to get him off script. You know what Saleh's going to be doing? every time that you have a sequence of ball, how many drives do you traditionally get? 10? Well, in that drive, what he's going to look to do, one play for the Eagles on a minus yardage play, it'll be a 3 and out. Or you won't get the first down. That's what's happened to you this year. If you win first and second down, you're 3rd and 3, something like that, you're moving the sticks. You're moving the sticks. Here's where the Eagles have gotten into trouble. You've been between 3rd and 7 and 9 the entire season. And that's why you're down there at the bottom of the league in scoring points and also in third downs. One minus play has taken you off script, and you lose that sequence and you lose that drive. That's what stops your drives. Penalties have stopped your drives, and you've cleaned that up a bit. But penalties, turnovers, you're not high in turnovers at all. You're one of the better teams. So you don't really have to worry about that going in. I'm not worried about turnovers going into this game. Well, I'm worried about them, obviously. But I mean, I'm not going in it going, Jesus criminy, man. I have a running back that fumbles the ball a ton. That's not who you are. Your identity's not that. You don't have to worry about it. But for me, it's all going to be on first and second down. So I'm starting to think every time Hurts gets into rhythm, Bobo and Sirianni keep getting in the way. Completely true. When you go up tempo and that guy's up tempo, I've been saying it for 3 years. The guy's a really good football player. You take the game out of their hands. That's why. You get that, right? You got to call multiple plays in a row when you're going up tempo. You don't have time to sit there and, hey, isn't it wild? Hey, Kyle, I think you're onto something. You don't have time to sit there and listen to the play coming in on up tempo. They give you like 3 or 4 plays, and you got to go with it. And when Jalen has the plays, he goes with it, and it's going and it's moving. When they stop that and they get in his ear, they stunt his play. And they stunt the offense's play. The quarterback is not stopping you from success. It's the guys on the sideline that are. Those dudes get in the way. They completely get in the way. I wonder what that relationship was with Kellen Moore last year and how Kellen called plays and how much Nick was involved in that. Because that shit don't look like the same. Now, I'm going to make a comment here in a minute about Kevin Patullo and that. Okay? But I think the sideline gets in their ways. And I'm talking the offensive skilled players. So let me ask you something about Kevin Patullo here, going into the playoffs here. So, how many people think the O-line's been a problem this year for the Eagles? How many people believe it's been a problem, the offensive line? How many people in here? Just Bob Brown, 100%. The biggest. Everybody. Okay. So the O-line has been the biggest problem. O-line has been the biggest problem. Okay? All of you, great. All of you agree. You guys think you played a tough schedule this year? I do. Do you guys think you played a tough schedule this year? I do. Do you? Okay. Yes. Yes. Tough, yeah. Okay. Hell yes. Okay. So we got a tough schedule. So you have a first-year play caller. You have the toughest schedule in the league, and you have problems in your O-line. Do you think some of that played into some of the issues for Kevin Patullo? having a battle line in the toughest schedule. You think that played into some of the play calling? Toughest schedule, battle line play. What are you calling? High exotic pass plays versus good teams and a battle line? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, well, you may think he stinks, and I'm not saying he's been great because he hasn't. But what I am saying is we'd agree it's the toughest schedule, one of the tougher schedules in the league at the beginning of the year. Your O-line stinks. And a first-year play caller. Okay? How do you know how good he is? Well, Sills, did you see what he did with Tanner? I did. Nobody said he wasn't inexperienced. How in the hell did the Eagles, with the toughest schedule and O-line issues that they started seeing early on, have a first-year play caller in the building and not make some type of adjustments? And I think they did. You know what that is? I think Nick is more the play caller for that offense now. And I think it's Nick and KP calling plays. And that's why, again, what Howard Eskin didn't want to say yesterday, this is why those plays get in late. I mean, tough schedule, O-line, okay? Offensive line not being very good. Hey, I mean, if you don't have your personnel and they're not playing very well, what kind of plays are you calling? What are you coming up with? How would the world with a first-year play caller know what to call when his O-line's not intact or his O-line's not good? You've had Lane out half the year almost. Okay? Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys here a lot. Thank you very much. All right. We asked you about the Eagles now. Let's do the 49ers. If the San Francisco 49ers are to win this game, how will they win it? How will they win it if the 49ers win the ball game on Sunday? How does San Francisco win this game? According to some, they can't. But we know, get this, they can't. They can't. Interesting. Hoss, you're making it sound like you have a good, like you're a dominant team. You're not a dominant team. Your resume is better than your production this year. Heading into the game. You're reading your headlines, not your production this year. Dumb mistakes and penalties. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are not going to be with a lot of penalties in this game. You know why? I do think that this is where experience comes in. I think they're going to be focused, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of penalties. I think that's not going to be an issue for Philly on Sunday. Mistakes? Clarify what you mean by mistakes. We got a killer schedule next. Dude, the schedule next year is insane. Hey, Reyes, try to stay fucking focused with me right now, what we're talking about today, kid. I'll tell you what, Reyes, I've had a slam dunk year so far. When it comes to saying some of the shit I said in the offseason. You kidding me? Eagles are top 10 in scoring and red zone offense. Red zone defense. Yes, they are. I don't believe the 49ers are going to get in. I don't believe they're going to get into the red zone and score on you. I think they're going to move the ball from 20 to 20. Okay? They have to control the time of possession in order to beat us. Correct. They've got to have sustained drives. Okay? Sustained drives. they've got to have at least three or four like 10 play drives. I just don't think they can do that, but they're going to have to do that against you guys. Vic's defenses, how many teams outside of Chicago have controlled the clock on you? Go back and take a look at some of the games that teams controlled the clock on you. And those would be, again, like I said, when you look at the Eagles' schedule this year and you look at what they've done and who they are, this is who you are. Okay? Like I said, guys, you're going to win. I believe you're going to win this ball game. I think the score's not going to be indicative of how well you handled the game. Okay? So here, like I said, I want to show you, even in losses, 24-20, one score, 20-17, one score, 33-26, one score. Denver, 21-17, one score. New York, you lost that. That's not one score. I'm going to take that out. 28-22, Minnesota, one score. 38-20, New York, not a one score. 10-7, Green Bay, one score. Detroit, 16-9, one score. Dallas, 24-21, one score. Chicago, 24-15, one score. Los Angeles, 22-19, OT, one score. Killed the Raiders. Washington, yes, killed them. Buffalo, 13-12, one score. Washington, one score. Of your 17 games this year, as we said, 12 of those games you've played this year have been one-score football games. Blowing teams out? Based on what? You're going to play tough football, and the scoreboard's not going to be indicative if you control the time of possession in the line of scrimmage. Dan, when will Nick open up the playbook? Never. Why would he? You think because they're getting into the playoffs, they're going to open up the playbook? You're making it sound like you have a high-volume passer and that they're going to go into this game. You may have to in the playoffs, though, because of Barkley's lack of production. Barkley hasn't been very productive this year. And as a matter of fact, I think his pass protection is an indication how well he's played. Not very good. I think he's been okay. I mean, I think he's been all right. His pass protection has been a liability in the offense. Yo, Sills, Vic Fangio's dominant over Shanahan's schemes. Well, take a look at the quarterbacks. Take a look at the quarterbacks that have gone against Vic with Shanahan. Very suspect quarterbacks at best. Our offense didn't score a lot last year when we got in the playoffs. Green Bay was lower scoring, and then we scored 28, 55, and 40. Well, that's because your O-line was intact, and that's because your O-line was playing great football. Your O-line was the story of the entire football year last year, and your defensive front seven. How good your front seven and your O-line was, that was the story. Your wide receiving core wasn't the story. Your running game was, and your defense was. Jalen Hurts had 2,800 passing yards last year, or 2,900, whatever it was, and 18 touchdowns. Wasn't like they were blowing people up in the passing game. They were murdering people at the point of attack because they were physical. By the way, you're not that team. So you should take that out of your mind. This team resembles hey, let me ask you this. Does this team remind you any way whatsoever of last year's team? And if you say on defense, this defensive team is not as good as last year. This team's not as good as the 22 defense. It's about the same. Well, no. You had four guys with double-digit sacks that year. So you don't have that this year. The run game, they were actually a little better. They were 16th that year. Okay? So, I mean, but we're comparing this group to Super Bowl teams. So put that in context. I didn't compare them to the 23 team. They're way better than that. But we're comparing them to Super Bowl teams. Last year and the 22 team. Okay? This is better than 22, our secondary. This is not better than 20. You think this defense here, with the 22nd ranked run defense, and that team had 70 sacks in 22. I do think your secondary is better. Well, no. You got a Dory Jackson. Well, they had James Bradbury, but James Bradbury that season made second team All-Pro. Let's see. How many? I never said that. You're making that up as usual. Seals, what do you think our percentage is to make the Super Bowl? Of all the teams? I think Seattle's chances of making the Super Bowl, %60. Bears, 20. Eagles, 60. Panthers, 5. Rams, 60. Niners, 25. Packers, 15. That's where I'd go. I got you, dog. We're good. My Super Bowl prediction is Patriots versus the Seahawks. I want to see what they do against the Chargers at Gillette. I don't know who that football team is, dude. Seals, you listen to what Fangio said? Every little thing, and that's right. Here, it's such a great take by Vic. When you watch a Kyle Shanahan play, okay, he'll have a guy on the backside. Okay? He'll have a guy on the backside here. If the play's over here, lined up, okay, this player here is going to do something that is going to be involved in blocking down the field to run a guy across the middle of the field. And this guy here has already set this guy up to maybe take the bait. How does he do that? You do a wheel route. Guy comes up, has to defend the wheel route. Guy's coming over. You're praying that your free safety comes down and has to make that play because your corner comes up and he's creating places in the zone. I'm going to compare Kyle Shanahan to Steph Curry. What is one of the greatest things that Steph Curry does as a basketball player? He's phenomenal without the ball. Watch him play, how he runs around without the ball. He opens up so many other people and creates so many other opportunities for people to score because of his ability to be able to move without the ball. Sometimes people can't move without the ball, or you don't have a great coordinator that puts you in a position to be able to be successful because he doesn't have the ability to be able to put guys in position to win. Every single guy in a Kyle Shanahan offensive play has a purpose. Okay? Every one of them. All right? I mean, so without a doubt, okay? I mean, you're talking about every single guy, tight end, backside guys. There's no question Kyle Shanahan, every single play will have a purpose. Absolutely. Like here, let me put it in context. What do you think the third wide receiver does on the Philadelphia Eagles in a play? I'm still trying to figure out what his job is. Run interference? Get in the way? Why is he even in the huddle? What does the third receiver do? Jahan Dotson's not going to blow anybody up in the run game. What's that guy do? Can I tell you, when you watch the Eagle offense and you watch the third wide receiver on your football team, he's just like doing sprints all day for 60 minutes. This guy does nothing. He has no purpose in that offense. I mean, he's just there. That's not what happens in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Seals, do you want to have the defense or offense on the field first? I'd like to get the offense on the field first. I'd like to get it going. I'd like to get I need my offense to win this game. I got a feeling my defense is going to be there for me. My offense has to get it going. And you haven't got it going. You've not played 4 quarters of football all year, except for a handful of football games. You want to get it going. And by the way, when you get it going, don't stop. Keep on the gas pedal. How about this? I'm not saying you want turnovers, but shit, keep pushing the ball. Maybe the only way to get out of your funk is to just keep going no matter what. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Hey, listen, if you lose this game, you're an 11-7 football team. You were a decent playoff team. If you win this game convincingly and handle yourself, and you're 12-6, hey, you're starting to talk about being back in the conversation again with getting better and better. If you win the season 11-7, 4 wins over 500, I don't know. I don't know how people will look at that. I would be very underachieving, especially against this Niner team. I'm going to say one more time. Do I think you lose this game? No. I don't think the score is going to be indicative of how you handle them. I think it's going to be close because that's what you've done this year. Until you show me, I'm not going by wishful thinking. I think you're winning, but not by this elaborate, 300-yard throwing game or some shit like that, when that's not what they've done. As a matter of fact, in the opening rounds of Jalen Hurts' career, I'm not sure he's ever thrown for over 200 yards in a game. I'm not sure they've ever really gone down that lane. It's been more about establishing the run, getting it going, playing defense, being good on special teams. Don't turn the ball over, being effective on third down. Third down's been the biggest problem this year. Okay? Going home and everyone gets fired besides Nick. No way. Not happening. Huss, if they get knocked out, Nick ain't going anywhere. What are you talking about? Guy's been in the playoffs 5 years in a row. 2 Super Bowl appearances. That's like saying bench Hurts. Are you stupid? I mean, here's the dumbest conversations. Fire Nick if they lose and bench Hurts. Are you stupid? Those aren't conversations. They're not. Those aren't conversations until 3 years. You need 18 months of shitty football before you make decisions like that. And you have anywhere near 18 months worth of conversations like that. What do you think you're the Miami Dolphins or the Jets? You're not going anywhere with that talk. Well, if that offense. Now, shit. The Philadelphia Eagle offensive coordinator is almost at times as useless as the right guard in the Philadelphia Eagle offense. And what I mean by that is they're interchangeable pieces. Ever since I've been covering your team, you've had a different right guard every single year. And almost every year you've had a different offensive coordinator. They change those 2 pieces out every year. Every year they change those 2 out. Will there be another right guard next year? I don't know. Steen's a 3rd-round pick. They'll probably end up trying to bring him back. But I look at Steen and I say this. I think he's been a dude. And when you don't have Cam playing good ball and you don't have Lane on the other side of him, it kind of exposes him as being a dude. Do I think there'll be competition? Maybe. I don't know. firing Nick if they lose. Come on. Now, Kevin Petullo's ass might be on the line. But Vic Fangio and some of these other guys, hey, the worst thing that can happen to the Eagles, what's the worst thing that a loss can do to the Philadelphia Eagles if you lose on Sunday? What would be the worst thing? That gives other teams opportunities to go over to your defensive coaching staff and cherry pick that coaching staff. You could pick 3 defensive coordinators off your coaching staff right now. You could take Christian Parker, Bobby King, and Clint Hurt, and every single one of those guys could get coordinating jobs somewhere in the NFL. Would I hire Clint Hurt as DC? You bet. Would I hire Bobby King? Look at the job he's done with those linebackers. It's been exceptional. Christian Parker's using a Dory Jackson. Bro, that guy could be a coordinator anywhere. If you lose, you may lose half that coaching staff on people wanting to elevate. If Chris Shula gets a job, say again, Chris Shula gets a job to DC with the Rams, right? I'll tell you what, I would hire Clint Hurt as my defensive coordinator in 10 seconds. Now, they may bring Raheem back because Raheem won a Super Bowl there with them. They may do that. But if Chris Shula gets a job, there's going to be a big opening there. There's an opening now in Miami for a DC. They fired them coaches. There's also going to be conversations about having play calling taken away from Todd Bowles. They're going to be looking for a DC. Okay? Seals, the conversation needs to be about hiring an experienced OC to develop a scheme that complements. Stop doing that. They don't do that. Bob, you know that. That's not what they hire. They don't hire to develop Hurts. Based on what? Kellen Moore didn't develop Hurts. That's all you need to know. He's developing Tyler Shuck more than he did with Jalen Hurts. Did you see the news coming out of New Orleans? Kellen Moore's going forward in the 26th with Tyler Shuck. That's his quarterback. Moving forward. He did more to develop that guy than he did Hurts. Okay? Here. This is Nick's offense. Okay? Well, you're 25-9. And you're 4-0 in the last 2 years in the playoffs. How you feel about that? This is Nick's offense, period. Well, you're 25-9 and 4-0 in the playoffs in 2 years. How you feel about that thing? I mean, if you want to go even further, let's just go here. You're 36 and 15 and 3, and then another 14 with the other Super Bowl. You're 50 and 18. And you're 4-0, 0-1, and 3-1. I mean, right? You're 25-9, 4-0 in the last 2 years in the playoffs, or 4-1 because they got beat in Tampa. That's right. I can't wait until Sunday. Me too. I can't wait to see it. Seals, I didn't say develop Hurts. I said develop the scheme. Got it. That's a gift from Big Z. Thought about JB last night, too, watching our Hurricanes. I had to put the Jerome Brown hat on last night. This is Nick's offense, and I think that is a major reason why Nick hired Petullo. Well, here. How many of you have heard this? They hire coordinators for Nick. Is Kevin Petula hired for Jalen or Nick? He's his buddy. He has no experience. You think that helps Hurts? Or does that help Nick? By the way, did you ever think of this? They hired Kevin Petula for a reason. Nick's teaching him how to be a coordinator on the job. How would he know how to be a coordinator? He's never been one. Nick has been one. He's been one in San Diego, and he's been one in Indianapolis. I don't know about you, but this is almost like an apprentice. He's like an apprentice learning his trade. You know, you're in the room, you put the game plans together, you put the passing routes together, you break film down, you're a quality control guy, you're all that. And Nick is teaching him how to be an offensive coordinator. Do you not? At JAKIB, you know, the 3 seed is cursed. Every team lost so far. And wow, I didn't know that. I don't buy that stuff. Okay. Yes, Jalen is. I've said that from day one. One thing you'll never hear me say, that guy is as dumb as a box of rocks. No way. I think he is an actually savant of the game. I think he's smart as hell. He sees it way better. We've said this. I think he sees the game better than Lamar. I absolutely do. Okay? I do. I think he sees the game. Seals, does this look familiar? The 2023 Chiefs were the 3 seed, finishing 11-6, went on the road and beat the Dolphins, Bills, and then the Ravens. And then the Niners in the Super Bowl. And that defense was coming around. It wasn't quite what it was the following year. So, yeah, well, you have that reversed now, though. The difference was in that team, you had Mahomes. I mean, look, comparing Mahomes to anybody's ridiculous. I'm not comparing anybody in the league to Mahomes. When Mahomes has the right team around him, I'm never even going down that lane, okay? One more thing on Kevin Petula. This is going to be more of an organizational conversation. Guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys here on this Football Friday. We're going to get into our thoughts on the weekend as well. Okay. How much do you think that offensive side of the football, compared to the defensive side of the football, does anybody in here think Vic Fangio uses analytics to prepare his game plans defensively? Does anybody think Vic uses analytics and Julian Lurie's analytics department? Do you think? I've actually heard Vic Fangio say, I take a little bit of what they give me and then I come up with my own game plan. I've actually heard that he goes with trends and pretty much the rest of it is all him putting it together. Okay? How much do you think the analytics in putting a game plan together with Julian Lurie's department? Frank Reich came on this program and said, the analytics department gives us all the intel and we build our game plan off those analytics. Vic doesn't do that. Okay? How much do you think that gets in the way of Kevin Petula? They're basically telling you this. Here's 15 plays that we think work best in this situation. 3rd and 7, 2nd and 8. Here's another one. 3rd and 9, we think these 15 plays. Instead of you doing your own due diligence, it's kind of like what Bernie Kosar said. Today having so much tech, guys in your ear, how you learning how to break a defense down when they're constantly telling you how to do it? It's different being told what to do than finding out how to do it, isn't it? You make your own journey, you find out how you're going to do something, and you figure out how to do it without anybody telling you. There's more homework involved. So when the Philadelphia Eagles put an offensive game plan together, like for this weekend, they're going to bring the analytics people down. They're going to give you about 200 plays. And in those 200 plays, Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo and Stoutland are going to build the game plan together. Vic don't operate like that. This is what San Francisco likes to do. You think there's any coincidence the guy who has the most experience in the building on being a coordinator is the most successful? He's been in the game 40 plus years. You got a guy that's been in the game 4 minutes. You think there's any coincidence to that? That guy's getting more help from Nick and from upstairs on putting a game plan together. Somebody pointed this out to me. Mark Trestman did. He said, you know why Vic is smoother of an operation on that side of the ball? By the way, remember the one thing Kellen Moore kept saying last year about the, what was the line he used? We love a smooth operation. Want it to be smooth. Not be bumpy. Right? Not bumpy, smooth. We want a smooth communication with the quarterback, getting the plays in and out, sidelines, all of that. None of that's happened this year offensively. Man, they have won ball games, and it's been a bumpy ride for those guys. Like, if you were to give the coaching staff a grade on offense, they won 11 ball games. It's a heck of a record. The New York Jets would kill for that record. Okay? They would kill for that record. But for whatever reason, analytics were not right. The analytics were not right on play calling. Ask yourself this. You keep running that zone run into nothing. Bang, 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 bang. That's the people upstairs telling you to run that play. Any common sense guy would see that that's not working. But the offensive game plan is built on what they give you. And that's why it's been running in the walls. Vic adjusts better. You know the problem that you have with people that are only and solely analytical when it comes to building these game plans? They don't know how to adjust. And what I mean by adjust, I'm not talking about sideline adjusting. I'm talking about pivoting in a game. Go to the run. Go to the pass. Let's go to checkdowns. Let's do this. That's why, again, you guys want to see an offensive output. Based on what? Where's that coming from? You think the analytics department is going to come down with some new strategy on what they've seen this year? Based on what? 2022? 2024? The shit you did analytically in 22 and 24 have no relevance on Sunday. Zero. Again, now if you're talking about that pedigree shit, okay, that's different. I'm talking about game planning. The game plans for this team versus last year's team, you almost got a brand new playbook. O-line's not the same. Now look, again, they're going to win, but their margins heading into this playoffs, do they have as good a chance as anybody of the three teams? The other two teams, I should say. No doubt. No doubt. Okay? No doubt. I think they do. They don't have a feel for the game either. See, well, when you don't have a feel for the game, that's because you're getting shit out of a computer. Vic has the feel for the game. I mean, if you can't see the difference in play calling from Fangio when he brings those blitzes, and then when you watch those guys run them zone runs into nothing, you sit there and you watch it on 3rd and 8. They run the ball. You're like, you got a tight end's got 11 touchdowns. You're not going to drop back and throw him the ball? I don't know. Anybody who defends the coaching staff on offense is out of their mind. It's not that they're not talented. It's that their philosophy and approach is whacked. I mean, I think they rely too much on that shit. And but when you have a first-year play caller, how can he have a feel for the game? The guy on the other side, look, when you're talking about coordinators, the one thing that you can get a sense of, like, look at Kyle Shanahan's feel. What do people say about Kyle Shanahan? Wow, is he great? For 58 minutes, he's got an identity. You know what the identity is? Man, that guy is great. I'll take it back. That guy is great for about 54 minutes of a ball game. Holy shit, can Kyle Shanahan scheme up shit? He's great. How about those 6 minutes? End of ball games. What he did in that Super Bowl against the Patriots when he was the OC in Atlanta. The 2 Super Bowls getting conservative late. Andy Reid getting conservative when he was in Philadelphia, not being able to run 2-minute and also handle timeouts. Everybody's got an identity. Vic Fangio, what's his identity? Explosion plays. No way, create turnovers and pressure. Right? Setting edges. Keeping everything underneath. Keeping everything in the pursuit angles. He wants the game played in the middle of the field. He doesn't want the game played on the numbers. He wants the game played in the middle of the ball field. That's why when Kyle Shanahan is going against him on Sunday, Shanahan has to win on the numbers. And he don't have the personnel to win on the numbers unless you're talking Kittle and McCaffrey. And I don't think they're going to be able to win on the numbers. Beating Vic, you got to win the numbers, the sidelines. Because in the middle of the field, that's where he has you in his trap. It's like a bear trap. Once he gets you in the middle of the field, Bond, Kobe, Campbell, and Cooper, those are your best players. You ever notice? He wants the game played around them guys. Look at your tackle charts. The majority of the tackles are those 4 guys because the game's played in the middle of the field with him. And that's what he's going to make San Francisco do. Okay? That's right. I see you down there, Charlie. He hates substitutional changes. That was another thing that the 24 defense had over this. Nobody came off the field except for Jordan Davis. Now you're starting to do that again because of the addition of Jalen Phillips. He hates situational substitutions. How many times do you see, like, the 49ers are going to have numerous substitutional situational changes. Why? Because they don't have the personnel. You're going to have one guy that does one thing well in the run. You're going to have another thing that does kind of something halfway. And you're going to catch him in the middle. That's why you go up tempo. You go up tempo on San Francisco, keeping him in that lame-ass personnel they have. That's how you beat them. Now, will they know that? Will they do that? I'm assuming they do. Vic, you can't change out your personnel that much. If Pearsall's not playing, I'd have to game plan him. Do I have to game plan Jennings? A little bit. He's a player. Kittle, for sure. McCaffrey. Outside of that, I don't know. And the question on Trent Williams, I think Trent looks healthier than Lane. I saw Lane moving around, and it was a video now. So, again, I saw, like, Trent moving more, and it seemed, I don't know. I don't want to play too much into it. But I thought Lane looked still a little gimpy. We'll see. And by the way, I hate to tell you guys this. If you don't think a defensive lineman is going to step on that foot, you're out of your mind. What do you think? This is like Queensberry rules? If you know that there's a guy over there hurt and he's got a broken ankle, I'm sorry. This is the NFL. You're going to stomp the shit out of that thing. Oh, what? You don't think that games are played like that? Okay. That's right. You think it's about kissing cheerleaders and cashing paychecks. I got you. Dan, you love stats. I don't love stats. I love trends, but hate analytics. No. Because you don't understand the difference. Trends are what you've done, who you are. Analytics, you're telling people what to build a game plan on. They're giving you the best 10 plays that they think it will take to beat San Francisco. Your analytics are what you've done for 17 weeks. Again, Hoss, if I run the ball for 200 yards a game, like I almost did a year ago with Saquon Barkley, are you a run-dominant team? Or what do you think you are, screen team? I have no faith in Patullo running the Walsh into Walsh overnight. That's right. He's not going to turn into Bill Walsh overnight. They're not going to do something out of hand and out of character. They're going to do everything the same. Players hate new. I'll tell you this, the one guy that used to do that bullshit was Marty Schottenheimer. Take a look at Marty Schottenheimer's postseason record compared to his regular season. Marty Schottenheimer is the 6th all-time winningest coach in pro football history and should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But why isn't he? I think he's 4-14 in the postseason. I don't think Marty's had a losing season in his entire 20-year coaching career as a head coach. Maybe one. And he won't go. He's won 206 games. I mean, I think this guy's got more wins than Chuck Noll. He's going in. I think he's 4-14 because he tried to do different shit in the postseason. When things go stale and conservative, should Hurts go rogue when Patullo clams up? I think Jalen Hurts is going to run a lot more in this ball game on Sunday, and that's going to help the run game. You're going to look up, and I think you're going to see a more improved run game because the quarterback's going to run. Now, this is where they may have done this. Win the East, and again, this is the philosophy and the flaw of what I'm thinking. If Green Bay loses and Chicago wins the game, okay, you get the Rams. You get the Rams at home, right? Instead of going to Chicago. I think that's how that works. I mean, you're going to have to go on the road in the second round. So will it catch him? We'll find out Sunday night. Sills, Nick and KP do not know how to play with a lead. They can't. It's not that they don't know how to play with the lead. They can't keep the lead because they can't win first and second down, and they've got third down issues because they can't run the ball. Play with a lead, Bob. They can't play with a lead because they can't run the ball. And if you can't run the ball, you can't play with a lead. You lose the lead. The Cowboys came back on them because the second half 3 and outs. We'd go to Chicago if we win no matter what. Well, if Green Bay wins, if they win, correct. Yes, I see. Yes, Brock. It's the nature of this offense. If we can't run it, you can't sustain drives. That's where the 3 and outs come from. That's where they've come from all year, right? And that's what you've done all year. Now, again, I agree with John McMullen on this. The 49ers, man, there's no excuses. They're so limited. No Hufanga. No Dre Greenlaw. No Fred Warner. You have no Nick Bosa. These are like Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year guys. You've got none of those players over there. And yet, they've done a decent job with the trash cans that they've put in there. Now, remember something. The Chicago defense had 5 starters out that day when they came to Lincoln Financial. 5 starters were out heading into that game. How did they cover a bad defense? They ran the ball. I don't think San Francisco has that ability. Look, McCaffrey, you look at the numbers and you look at the catches and you're like, wait, they got McCaffrey. Yeah, okay, they do, but is McCaffrey, would you consider McCaffrey like Derrick Henry? Or like what they have in Detroit, where they're a dominant running attack and they're dominant at the point of attack? I wouldn't think they do. They don't. They're a finesse team. San Francisco has turned themselves into a finesse team because they've had to, because they're no longer the gadget offense. That thing was a gadget offense. Debo's running this. Debo's running jet sweeps. They're running them up the middle. Kittle across the middle. McCaffrey out of the backfield. You had all these moving components at one time. You don't have that anymore. And they've become more finesse. If Purdy is going to win this game, Brock Purdy's going to have to go for 28 of 36 for like 350 yards to win this game. 3 touchdowns and a pick. If he don't do that, they're going to get beat. And the score, as I said, is probably not going to indicate how you've controlled the football game. Because that's been your MO the whole year. The postseason is here, and people are assuming that the Eagles are going to change into this like postseason different team than what they did for 5 months. That they're going to put a different suit on. This is who you are. Okay? I think they're going to get more conservative. Why wouldn't you? You're at home. San Francisco's not got a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side. And who's going to have to blink first? San Fran. Look at what Sean McVay did when McVay came to San Francisco, when he came to Lincoln Financial. What was the one thing he did wrong in that game? He got conservative in the late parts of the fourth and went for it on that 4th down, didn't he? And when he went for it on that 4th down, Eagles took advantage of the short field, did they not? And then they ended up getting back in that ball game, and then they made the kick, or they made the play on the field goal, and they went and took it back the other way. That's how they ended up getting back in it. Sean had the lead. He couldn't believe it. You know what he was doing? He was scoreboard watching. Look at the time. Look at the time. You play right into the Eagles' hands. See, the Eagles are kind of like, they're a trap with cheese. They're going to wait. You think you're going to get the cheese off the mousetrap. And once you grab the cheese, they got you. If you make a mistake against them, how many times this year, still, even with the struggles on offense, did you say this? Short field, Eagles are scoring. Field goal or whatever. These coaches, Nick's going to be patient. Why wouldn't he be? Right? All right. Football Friday. I'm in a great mood because of my Hurricanes. Big win last night. We'll see what Oregon and Indiana do tonight. Without further ado, we bring my boy in, Big Z. Xander Kraus joins us right now.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What'd you think last night, man?
I think your Canes team's pretty impressive, brother. Physical team, great on the line of scrimmages. I mean, really good offensive line, great running. And got to tip the cap to Carson Beck. I was trolling you a little bit about him.
No, but, you were right.
Well done. No, I mean, look, that's a pressure moment, though. And he showed poise. He had some big 3rd down throws, man. Some of those 3rd down throws yesterday were really impressive. So I thought Carson Beck had a great game. And I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for everybody, all the Miami fans. Man, that's a great win, and I got a feeling you guys could win it, man. I really do. I think Indiana's going to win tonight, so it will be Indiana and Miami would be my guess. That's a good matchup. That could go either way, but I like the Canes in it, Sills.
How about this? I found out about our gear. So I asked Mario about our gear. You know
They're probably getting more calls for gear right now than they.
Oh my God! Wait, this is what he's doing because you said this to me about being back.
We had an opportunity 2 years ago when nobody was calling about gear.
Get this, ready? I go, hey, I've been asking you about the gear. He goes, why would I send you Cotton Bowl gear? I said, all right. Why would I send you Fiesta Bowl gear? What gear do you want? I want national championship gear.
Yeah, there you go.
And he goes, well, I ain't sending shit out to any of you guys or any of your friends until we find out here. And so you know what? He hates the same thing that Nick and your Eagles hate. They don't want to hear anything about defending. They don't want hey, are you back? He's like, Sills, do you think we're back? I'm like, I hate it too. We're back when we win it. Because we ain't won shit yet.
You guys are close. You guys are close. I mean, if somebody said at the start of the year the Canes will be in the national championship, I don't think many would have believed them. I don't even know if you would have believed them.
No way.
Yeah.
I said this last night because I went on you. I go, there's no way this guy's going to drive 75 yards and win the game. There's no way in hell.
Oh, see, I didn't feel that.
I didn't either. Oh, you did?
I did.
Huh.
When Ole Miss scored, I immediately said too early and look out for, the playmakers coming on Miami. Miami's got some playmakers, dude.
Oh, God.
That kid last night, what's that one kid's name who is it shoot, what the freak was his name?
Malachi Tony?
No. He's the one I know. Oh, Marion. Was it Marion?
Yeah.
He made some big catches in that game, man. And Carson Beck, dude. Carson Beck found him. I mean, a couple of those throws from Carson Beck were really good throws.
Don't you remember, too, C.J. Daniels was at LSU?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I remember Daniels at LSU, yeah.
Yeah, he was an LSU guy. So you got Indiana tonight?
I got Indiana tonight, yeah. I think they're the better team. I think they're better coached, more physical, great at the point of attack. Those are old dudes, man. I don't know. Blowout. I like Mendoza, too.
How about that story? Mendoza went to the same high school that Mario Cristobal went to in South Florida, Columbus High.
So can I listen? This is I'm listening to College Game Day before the game last night, and they're talking to Nick Saban about the four coaches being in all four coaches are in the Nick Saban tree. Who? Pardon my language. Who the fuck is running the Alabama football program that you hire a coach not from the Nick Saban tree? You have the greatest college football coach in the history of college football who has a say in the process. You rename the field after him. He brings you 6 national championships. Everybody out there is hiring somebody from his tree. Yep. And they go pluck a Pac-12 guy.
Yep.
I mean, what
every guy. And by the way, every guy that's in the playoffs has a national championship ring from Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, all 4 of the teams that made it far, all 4 of them. And the funny part about Ole Miss is Golding was Saban and Kiffin was Saban. Both of them. All 4 of them played championship ball.
I think it's remarkable. I've never heard of anything such.
I don't know. What. I mean, you would think the one team that would easily pick a Saban disciple would be the University of Alabama. I mean, what a joke.
Would you put Dan Lanning in there if anything goes sideways?
I don't dislike Dan Lanning. I think Dan Lanning's a solid coach. I don't know if he would move, would he? I mean,
Phil Knight, maybe not, because I think they spend more money on Nil there.
Well, they spend him a lot, and look, I mean, he's where he is again. I don't think they, that's one thing I was saying to you last night. I mean, I said to you before, boy, you guys might have to pay up to keep Tony. But when you make it to the final,
yeah, you're right.
It changes the game because it's like now players got to consider. It'd be one thing to go from a school where you don't have a shot to win it to a school that you have a shot to win it. Miami's now in the dance.
Yeah,
they're in the game. They got the foundation to a program that you would want. They got money. They got, let's call a spade. They got women. And I mean, these college athletes, they want women. They want party. They want everything. They want
baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they want. They want what comes with the college experience, and you get that in Miami. So I think you guys are in a good spot. But so I like that.
I love it too. I think it's been a great year this year. I can't wait to see what happens here tonight, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. And by the way, last thing on this. If Miami wins a national title, 4 of our 6 national championships will come on our home field in South Florida. We've won 3 of our 5 at home.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think we won 1 at the Sugar Bowl, and we won 1 at the Rose Bowl.
You're not headed to Hard Rock?
I'm thinking. Mario asked me.
I'm sure. I mean, it's tough to
Mario goes like this. I want all of you guys there. And I was like, hey, did you hear what Ray Lewis did to that kid, Lacey, last night?
No.
Lacey was walking off the field in a sling, the running back from Ole Miss.
Yeah. He's a good player, that kid.
He had a knee brace on. He was crying, obviously.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis grabbed him and said, I know you think the world's coming to an end, but hey, situations like this sharpen character.
Yes, they do.
And he's like, and the kid's trembling in his lips, and he's like, I let my team. He goes, I've been watching the kid from the middle of the year, and I just love the kid. And he goes, all the speed bumps you guys had put in front of you, you guys are going to be one whale of a football team in the next couple of years to come. Because boy, if you got a whole team load of you guys who went through all that bullshit with Lane Kiffin, man, you got a lot of character kids on that Ole Miss team. I really hated to see those guys, the way and all the bullshit that went down with them. I heard John saying it, and I agree with John. That's a great story, and I hated they have to go out like that. All right. So Sunday, Xander, how do you see this thing playing out on Sunday? Eagles have the 49ers coming into Lincoln Financial.
One of the things I love about, not only playoff football, but football in general, watching a game like that last night, it's like, it's crazy how small the margins are in football and how such little outcomes and every little game that adds up can have such a different result. If Miami doesn't make one certain play in that game a week ago, we're talking about an entire different outcome for both teams, and then there's a whole new national champion. You could have a different Final Four. So I love the margin, like how small it is, how close things can be. One different play can make a game, or you know what I'm saying. And I think you're going to be in that now. It's playoff mode, and I don't think the Eagles are going to blow teams out. I think the 49ers are going to be a good test. But I just don't think they got the guys. I don't think they got the Jimmies and the Joes right now. I look at their offense. They're a great offense. Kyle gets a lot out of them. But, it's tough to beat a Fangio defense when you don't have great threats on the perimeter. That's right. One of the things that really opens it up. That's why the Rams are able to move the ball in the Eagles, because they got great perimeter guys, So I think they're fighting an uphill battle when it comes to personnel. And then, you go to the obviously they got their defense where they're missing Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, all the guys. I mean, I don't have to name them all to you. They're missing 4 damn linebackers in the football game. So, my question is, how well can the Eagles run the ball? I mean, they've struggled to run the ball all year, but there has been games. Saquon went for 20 for $132 a couple of weeks ago. He went for, 19 for 110 not too long ago too, or something like that. Saquon's got to run the ball in this game. If they can run the ball, establish themselves on first down, stay ahead of the sticks here, I think the Eagles are going to be able to, I want to say run away with it, but I think they're going to be able to be in control of the game, because I think their defense is going to get so many stops. If they can own the field position battle and run the ball, then I think the Eagles are going to be in a really good spot to win the football game. I do have them winning. I got them winning 23-16.
Oh, wow. I had 23-17.
Okay. So I didn't hear your score in the first hour. Yeah, that's what I put. I put this morning up 23-16. I think that's right on the number. And, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is where it all.
I don't think that score is going to indicate how much control you have of the game. You know what I'm saying? I think you're going to have.
It could, but it could not. There's a chance 49ers play this thing closer than we think.
So do you think going into the fourth quarter you have the lead, or do you think you have to come from behind to win?
No, I think we're going to play from the lead.
Okay, you're going to play from the lead.
My question would be here, because, like I just mentioned, how small the margins are in football, they get even smaller in playoff games. Oh. If the Eagles are able to build a lead, let's say they're up 14-10 at halftime, whatever, how do they play in the second half? I know they have the philosophy. I understand it. It's worked well. And I'm not saying they're advocating for them to change that now because it's obviously worked, but versus a team like the 49ers, if you're not going to score a touchdown or you're going to stop trying to push the ball down the field and controlling the clock and just relying on your defense, are you in the position to get got by that team? All they need is one drive. They could punt the ball 4 times straight, come down at the end of the game and get a touchdown and win. So I hope the Eagles play a little more aggressive. I'm not saying break who you are, but don't rest on your laurels. It's just playoff football, and I would expect it to be playoff football. And don't act like a team. Take that mentality that Jalen had in the Super Bowl. Are you sure you want to pull me out of this game, Jalen? It's 40-6 or whatever it was. The game's over. I like that mentality though. Don't rest on your laurels. Play your ball, keep running it down their throat, and suffocate them with your defense. That's the formula.
All right, I'm going to play a game with you here for a second. So I'm going to first start with the Eagles, and then I'll do the Niners. If the Eagles win the game versus the 49ers, it's because why?
2 takeaways from the defense, and stuff in the run, not letting Christian McCaffrey go. I think it more comes down to that. If you want me to look more bigger picture, it's because of the defense and it's because they got the run game going. If they're able to run the football, stay ahead of the sticks on first down, move the chains, can't get caught on third down, man. You look at the game last night, a different college, I understand, but it's amazing that score was as close as it was. Miami's got 88 plays to, I don't know what Ole Miss had. I want to say it was like 50-something. Let me look real quick. I'll see if I can get the number for everybody. It was 88 plays to, where's the damn plays? 88 plays to 50-something, whatever it was. And then you had time of possession. Like, look at this last night. This is insanity, dude. Insanity. The Miami Hurricanes had the ball last night for 41 minutes and 22 seconds. I want to say it again. 41 minutes and 22 seconds of the football game.
19 minutes.
18:38. Ole Miss had the ball.
That's insane.
Take a page out of that book. If the Eagles can control the ball, and not give because one of the things they've struggled with this year, and that's when you see the defense break, by the way, is when they have to play 38 minutes for the Eagles.
Yep.
If they can control the ball and run the ball, keep that defense fresh, I think the 49ers are going to really struggle to score. I really do. All
right. If the Eagles were to lose this game to the 49ers, it would be because of why?
3 and outs consistently, losing the field position battle, breaking in the red zone on defense, not getting stops in the red zone on defense. I assume the 49ers are going to move the ball. They move the ball well.
I think they're going to go 20-20, but I don't know what they're going to do.
And that's Vic Fangio. That's what, that's where we butter our bread, in the red zone, we get stops. They were 0-for-3 versus Seahawks in the red zone, so that's where it is. If the 49ers get touchdowns, then that's where I could see them losing the game. And then the question would become, boy, if you have to play from behind, I trust Jalen. I don't know that I trust Kevin and just the team. They don't play from behind very often. The one game this year they did. Who was that? The Rams?
Yeah.
The Rams, they play from behind. That was pretty impressive. But it's been a long time for that. So
they were down in that game. They had to come back in the second half.
Yeah. So if the Eagles defense can't get off the field on third down and they can't stop them in the red zone, that's where I think they'd lose the game.
If the 49ers now are to win this game, they have to do what?
Well, I think they can't allow the Eagles to get the run game going. If I'm them and I know my defense sucks, like if I know my defense sucks going into the game and I know, okay, I don't have a good defense. I can't rely on I need to score 30 points. If that's the expectation, all right, don't you just say, if you're Robert Saleh, don't you just say, let's just sell out and stop the run, man?
Yeah.
Let's just stop one thing.
Absolutely.
That way they won't be able to control the clock. They won't be able to, win on first down. Let's make them beat us through the air. They're going to do it probably at times, but I'm going to make them do that. So that's what that would be my approach. And
does that mean in short, make Hurts beat us?
Well, no, I don't even think it's about that, actually. I think it's more about when you don't have a good defense and you have no linebackers. I mean, forget who the
Well, I'd
quarterback
rather
could
have
be.
you throw it 40 times than
Yeah,
run
but
it.
I'm saying the quarterback could be anybody. I'm just going to run the ball down your throat. You know what I mean? You got no linebackers. You know, you don't have a good defensive line. You know, they got no edge rushers. Their best edge rusher is Bryce Huff. He couldn't get on the field for the Eagles last year. That's their best edge rusher. So, you know, that's where the way I would look at it. I don't say that because it's about making Jalen beat him. It's more
No.
about there's a more opportunity for the Eagles to make mistakes, you know, stop the clock, be in third and long situations if you take away the run game. And that's what I think they should try and do defensively. And then offensively, you know, it's that they got going on Vic. I mean, you know, because look, Vic's defense has been really good this year. There's been spots where people move the football, you know, and so they're not perfect, and I don't expect them to be, but that would be the one. That would be the area I would see it.
I would look at it like this too. I would take a part of the Chargers game offensively, and I would look at the Bears defense of approach if I was Kyle Shanahan. And why do I mean that? There's not a chance in hell that the 49ers are anywhere near what the Chargers defense is. They're not even close to that kind of personnel. They're not even in the conversation. However, what was the one thing that they did offensively to that defense? Quarterback got out in the perimeter and made plays. Now, Purdy's not a runner. That's not what he does. So I'm talking about him getting more in movement. You know what I think they're going to do to him in this game on Sunday? I don't think you're going to see a lot of drop back. I think you're going to see a lot of movement with him out in the open and perimeter. Because you know what that does too, Xander?
Yeah, I agree.
That creates half the field. If you throw one into the stands over here, going across the middle of the field, where's his biggest problem? Throwing into the heart of Nick's mousetrap. Vic wants the game played in the middle of the field, doesn't he?
100%.
He look what's in the middle. Cooper, Bond, N'Kobe.
Yeah, and even as simple as Brock Purdy won't be able to step up in the pocket in this game. So you're right. I mean, if he avoids that,
you got to have him moving.
That's a good point by you. I think you're right to look for more of that.
You've got to have a little bit. And by the way, the motion that they're going to run with Jennings, I don't know if I'm going to bite on that. That might not be a hook I'm going to bite on.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I mean,
look,
they're not the team. I used to call them the gadget team because look, you had Debo running the jet sweeps and shit running up the middle. You had Kittle coming across the middle. You had McCaffrey line. You don't have that dynamic any longer. All right, here's another one. Is Vic Fangio the biggest advantage heading into this 49er game?
No, the personnel of the defense is to me. I mean, they got great talent on every level. I mean, look, they got two cornerbacks who couldn't make all pro. They got Zach Bond and N'Kobe or Jihad, whoever's out there. Obviously, Zach Bond is what he is. And then they got 4 first-round draft picks on the line, and all 3 of them are worthy of a contract extension right now. You know, 3 of the 4 outside of Nolan, and then you got Jalix who's emerged. I mean, Eagles have tons of talent on that defense, dude. They really do. I know they're not paid like it yet, but boy, they got a lot of talent on that defense. And then Fangio, you know, he's like, I don't want to call him the cherry on top because he's more than that, but he's the guy who takes all the ingredients and turns it into the 5-star meal. You know, he's that good. So, you know, but you can't make the meal if you don't got the ingredients. He's got the ingredients. So that's what I think the Eagles' biggest advantage is, you know.
So, like, he's like when you go to a opera or you go and you watch like a symphony orchestra, he's like the guy there conducting the orchestra. He's like the conductor.
Yeah.
Of the whole thing. He's kind of like that guy, right? All right, heading into this football game, who do you think has the advantage at running back? 49ers or the Eagles?
I think Christian McCaffrey's a better all-around player. I mean, the guy's got 100 catches from the backfield. I don't know if people realize how crazy that is, dude. That's a lot of catches for a running back. Yeah, they got the advantage. Now, I'll tell you what. He's averaged less yards per carry this year than Saquon. So if you're taking out the passing element and just looking at it from a back perspective, this year it's a push. I mean, their offensive line's not great on the interior either. They've struggled to run the ball this year consistently. It's one of the reasons that they were struggling more early in the year. and I think it's a push if you're looking at specifically the run game,
Okay. I mean, and plus they're both used differently, aren't they?
Very differently. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will ask you this now on this offensive line. So the offensive line in the playoffs will be what?
That's a wild card right there, my friend. That's a big wild card right there. I mean, I've lost a lot of my faith and belief in Cam Jurgen. Lane Johnson coming back is huge, huge. I mean, if he's back, I know people are like, how good will he be? Trust me. If Lane's back out there, it's going to be good. I mean, that you can count on one hand the number of sacks that guy's given up in 10 years. All right, this guy is unbelievable as a football player. If Lane Johnson's out there, massive, massive advantage, and he's going to be. So that's big. I just don't see the Ford. To me, this week is a little bit less about the Eagles' offensive line and more about they don't got the horses on the D line.
Yeah, no,
they really don't. Yeah, they're not that good. So, but the offensive line is a big question. I mean, you get past this week, and let's say you got the Rams next week or even the Bears. I mean, that offensive line is going to come into play quick, really quick. So it is a big question, and it's something we're all waiting to see, I think. But the smart analysis would probably be they're going to be who they've been all year.
Guys, hit the like button. We'll read your supers. We appreciate it on a Football Friday. All right. So I want to play something with Kevin Patullo here to you. Do you believe the Philadelphia Eagles this year had a tough schedule?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I do too.
Yeah.
Do you believe the offensive line has had issues?
Yeah, absolutely.
We just talked about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if you're a play caller, your O-line's not good. You're playing against tougher opponents this year than Kellen Moore had to scheme against a year ago. How fair are you being? And that includes me. How fair are you being to a guy who's limited because the O-line's not very good? And we're talking about playing better teams. I mean, how much is that guy taking where you go like this? Well, wait, your offensive line, you think the offensive line being injured limited the playbook a bit?
Potentially. I mean, I think it limited what Barkley was able to do,
Okay.
So
do you think it limits what the quarterback's skill set is too a little bit?
No, I just think it leads to worse execution.
Okay, right.
I mean, I saw somebody in here saying, the run game's predictable. Like, I hear you, but it was predictable last year too.
Yeah, they just said, I'm going to line up and knock you out.
Exactly.
They can't do that.
I'm going to knock you out. Goodbye. See ya. Offensive line deep cleat you. It doesn't matter if you know what's coming. You're down there looking at freaking Tweety birds running around.
Those are scary.
On your head. Yeah. So different game. It's different year.
This team's not scary like that team was. If I was a defensive lineman playing against that team last year, I'd be watching on film going, they're just running
people
over, dude.
Yeah.
This year, they're stumbling around, and you just don't see that same continuity going into this. Am I right when I say that?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Lane coming back will help. But look, Lane has played 8 games this season, and they did have the same offensive problems with Lane. So it's not a fix-all. But it's an advantage to get him back, obviously.
So going into this ball game, do you want the ball first or do you want to be on defense first?
Nah, defer. Get that ball in the second half, man. Nah, defer. I always like defer, especially in playoff games. How nice was it Miami getting that ball after halftime last night?
Oh, man, it was great, too.
Yeah,
it was
limit possession.
It was absolutely.
I don't know if they scored on. I don't think they didn't. Did they do anything with it? I think they were driving.
I think they moved.
They got stalled. They got stalled up.
They got stalled down on the inside, like the 35.
I thought one of the most impressive drives was actually your guys' drive in the end of the first half. Now, it wasn't the very end, but it was the. I think there was like 2 minutes left or so. That's when Carson made the big throw downfield. Yeah.
Yeah, they played. Their play calling. I like that offensive coordinator too. Dawson, who calls plays for Miami. I think that guy's going to get a job.
I like your D coordinator, dude.
Oh, he came from Wisconsin.
That guy, I like that dude. That's the kind of guy I want calling a defense.
Oh, he's really highly motivated too. Yeah. He's really got a high engine.
I like him, dude. He's physical. He wants to.
He's coaching the D line, right?
What's that?
He's coaching the D line, right?
In Miami?
Yeah.
Who?
Jason Taylor, defense, the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Jason Taylor's coaching the. He's coaching Bain and Mesidor. He's coaching them dudes, man.
Wow.
You wonder why. Hey, well, they look it too, don't they, man? Who's got to be your stud on defense in this game?
Stud on defense? I think it's the guys in the middle. And then I think it's, if you're going to talk about guys in coverage, it's got to be probably a linebacker. You're looking at probably Bond in this game. Think about it. If they got Kittle and McCaffrey, both guys who go over to the middle of the field, that's where you're going to need great play in this game, or else they're just going to continue. Cooper and Bond, right, the middle of the field.
Bond, right?
That's why I think you have an interesting point about trying to roll Purdy out.
Yeah.
I wonder if they try and get McCaffrey in the flats a little bit more.
How do you cover
an over the middle kind of guy?
Hey, how do you cover a shitty offensive line? You roll your quarterback.
Yeah.
You move because if
their tackles are good. Their tackles are it's the interior. It's the interior where they're going to get. Yeah.
It's the center and two guards that are having.
But Purdy, Purdy. The thing I think the reason I think you're so right about that rollout is like Purdy makes a lot of his hay by stepping up and delivering over the middle of the field. And if you just envision what that middle of that pocket is going to look like, the pocket normally goes like this. That thing can go like this.
Yeah.
Not like this. It's going to go like this. So Purdy's going to have to get out of there, man. And I think that's a good point by you. I'm going to be looking for that. The one thing here is this is the thing with this team, the 49ers team that makes them dangerous. They're going to be ready. They're going to have a plan offensively. It doesn't mean you can't stop it. It doesn't mean you can't knock them out. Okay? It doesn't mean you can't play better than them and mess up their plan. But Kyle's going to have a plan of attack. He's not going to come in and say, all right, they're better than us at every position. Let's just see what we can do. He's going to know what he wants to do. The question will be if the Eagles can get him off their game. And I think they're going to be able to, but we'll see.
Absolutely. Brock Purdy, coming into this game, you would put him on a scale of what? Do you think he's an elite player?
That's a big word for Brock.
Or does Kyle make him elite?
Yeah, Kyle's elite. Kyle's
elite.
Yeah, Kyle's elite. I don't know if I would say Brock's elite, but I don't say that as a slight.
No.
I don't. To be clear, I think there's 3 elite quarterbacks. 4. I'd say Stafford is elite. Josh Allen is elite. Joe Burrow is elite, but got to stay on the field to be elite, my friend.
That's right.
That's really it. I don't think Lamar Jackson's elite.
What's that?
I don't think Lamar Jackson's elite. Certainly not by his recent play.
No, not by his recent play. You think
Mahomes? Obviously Mahomes left Mahomes off, so he's elite.
What about Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
he's past his elite days. He was elite. I don't know if he's elite.
So a 42-year-old quarterback.
My bad guy. I left off Mahomes. Believe me, I meant to put Mahomes.
Hold on Rodgers here. So a 42-year-old quarterback leads a team to the playoffs. You think Jalen Hurts at 42 years old is putting the team in the playoffs with no wideouts?
Well, his skill set bodes to longer play, but he's not elite at this stage of his career.
Okay.
You think he's elite?
Well, no. I asked you. I didn't ask you if he is in his prime. I asked you, do you think he has elite skills?
Oh, arm talent. He's probably one of the best in the history of the game, arm talent wise, and he still has that.
Were you impressed with Phillip Rivers and what he did when he came back?
Mm-hmm.
Is that elite skill set?
See, you're talking about 2 different things, I think.
Like
you're talking about skill sets, and I agree. Phillips, elite skill set. Aaron, elite skill set. The question is if your output on the field is elite at this stage of your career. Phillips wasn't, and neither has Rodgers been.
Okay, let me see something here on Aaron Rodgers this year at 42. Let me see if you think you – I don't know what the numbers were this year because I haven't been watching Steeler football all that much. But him heading into the playoffs here, so Aaron Rodgers' season this year, he had 3,300 passing yards in 16 games. He had 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 94.8 quarterback rating. Shit, that looks like Jalen Hurts' numbers.
Well, and Jalen Hurts, I'm not putting Jalen Hurts in the elite category.
I know, and this guy's 42.
All right, but I'm just saying he's got elite skill set, but he's not elite anymore.
Okay.
He's not changing the game in an elite way anymore. Is that fair?
Do you think he changed the team going there from Justin Fields?
Well, I don't know. How many games did they win last year with Justin Fields?
They did win 9 games last year, too.
I mean, not really.
Hey,
a little bit.
Hey, if you're Mike Tomlin, you're winning 9-10 games.
Yeah,
no matter
I mean,
what.
that's,
So at the end of the day, he really didn't add much to it, did he? Because that Mike Tomlin wins.
Well,
whether
he made them.
Nathan Rudolph.
He allowed them to play a different style of football, but for sure.
Rudolph won fucking 9 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? All right, hey, let me go here with the playoffs with you here a bit, man. Are you this round and the next round? What round are you looking forward to more? The wild card round or the divisional round?
Well, I don't want to put my feet. I want to put one foot in front of the other. I mean, we got to knock off the 49ers. This is playoff football. You don't walk into any playoff game with you. Okay, all right. See you guys in the divisional round.
You have no fucking chance of losing this game.
No, last time John said that was the Bears game.
Hey, I got to tell you, every time he said that, I went like this. I don't know if I'd be barking. I don't want to know that. I didn't like that because, I was like, dude, you never know.
Playoff football.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yes, playoff football is right here, man. Dude, I got a feeling here. You've already told me who you think is winning. You think the Rams in the Panther game is high scoring or low scoring?
I don't think that game is going to be as close as people think. I know.
Blowout?
I don't know about a blowout, but I could see like 33-19 or something like that. I could see like a goofy score. The Rams have a comfortable lead. I mean, does anybody really think that the Panthers have the pedigree to knock off the Rams in the playoffs this year? I mean, I get it's in Carolina, but I mean, come on. Has anybody watched the Panthers this year? I mean, look, they look better than the Panthers normally look, but dude, you guys have concerns about the Eagles offense and the Eagles team? I mean, that team's got more problems than the Eagles do. I mean, come on. The Rams are going to win that football game.
So a big score in your opinion, right?
10 points.
Okay, so I want to show you something. Okay. They're losing games 16-14, 23-20, 20-17. Now, there's been blowouts in here, 30-27, 31-28, 16-13, 13-6, 27-24.
Holy shit, sounds like the Eagles' outcomes.
A little bit, okay? And here's the impressive wins they have. They've beaten Dallas. They've beaten Green Bay.
Dallas isn't an impressive win.
Is Green Bay?
Green Bay is less impressive now than it was in the beginning of the year.
Okay. It beat the Rams.
That's their most impressive win.
And they beat the Bucs.
That's not a very impressive win. You know, the Eagles' first 4 weeks of the year, it looked like a more daunting four better wins at the time than it looks now. I mean, beat the Bucs, you beat the Chiefs, and you beat the Rams is a big win, and the Cowboys. I mean, we only had one playoff. One of those teams was a playoff team. That's it.
The Green Bay game, high scoring. Oh, by the way, I happen to think that Rams-Carolina game, I think it's going to be like 21-14, something in there.
So you think that you're giving that Carolina defense some respect?
I think they're going to keep that Rams team.
And the Panthers just activated somebody, their Pro Bowl guard.
I think that game's going to be low scoring. I don't think that's going to be a high.
You got the Eagles injury report. Lane Johnson listed as questionable.
He's going. You think this is Lane Johnson's last year?
I didn't coming into the year, but with the injuries, John brought up, a little bit yesterday or 2 days ago that potentially the mental aspect has become a factor again on Lane. So I don't know. I hope not, because by the way, we're not freaking ready to replace Lane Johnson. When Jason Kelsey hung him up, at least we had an heir apparent in the room that was already played a season at guard. Remember, when Brandon Graham hung him up, we had a first-round draft pick there and waiting in the wings. When Fletcher Cox hung him up, we had 2 first-round draft picks at defensive tackle. When Lane Johnson hangs him up, I love you, Fred. But that ain't it. That ain't it.
That ain't it.
I hope not.
So you're telling me that the facelift of the Philadelphia Eagles next year could have an offense that looks like, just talking out loud here, no Goddard, no Lane, and no AJ.
Well, they're going to replace him with somebody. I mean, they can't just get rid of those guys.
You can replace them with somebody, but that doesn't mean.
Well, remember, the other part of that is like I think it's less likely that they make a big trade now. Like, I don't think they trade AJ Brown anymore. They can't, because think about it. If you have to replace AJ Brown and you got to pay Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Jalen Phillips this summer, you're not going to walk into free agency like, okay, let's go spend to replace AJ. That's stupid business. His cap hit's low. He's already paid and signed and under contract. What are you moving on from him for? Why? Because he bitched in the regular season? Well, you're stupid. You made your team worse. So I don't think AJ's going to leave, actually, unless
he demands
unless AJ demands it.
Okay, unless he wants to. So you think this thing's a high-scoring or low-scoring game in Chicago? By the way, weather is it's going to be windy and obviously snowing.
Yeah, you want me to pull the weather?
Yeah, please, because that's going to determine to me what that game's going to look like.
Wait,
now,
let me show you the Eagles weather.
Both
first.
play in shitty weather there in Chicago and Green Bay.
By the way, earlier this week it said Sunday. It's looking like no rain now on Sunday.
In Philly?
Rain. Yeah, well, a little bit maybe in the morning. No, it'll be done Saturday night, it says now. The question here is that the temperature's dropped. It's going to be 43 now. It was in the 50s earlier. The wind is now, the range is 2 to 16 with gusts up to 34. And the wind gets the highest in the day at 5 p.m. And it starts to get high at 3:30. They play at what, 4:30, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think wind's going to be a factor.
So a running football game.
Potentially.
Who's that favor?
I think that favors the Birds.
Okay.
I mean, I think it favors the Birds because the Eagles are already, a defensive team.
Because of what you said and how they get the ball to McCaffrey.
Like wind affects offenses more, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so who's the offensive team? The 49ers. I think it affects them more.
Yep. What about
the line for the Eagles is changed to 6? Is that true now?
Let me see.
Dude, Vegas is.
They're talking to you.
Yeah, but remember, there's a lot of different ways to interpret that. That doesn't always mean, slam it. It means they might want more money on the other side.
It's 6 now.
Is that right?
I think this is a fun thing. Xander, do you think the Rams, you think they covered that 10.5?
That's big. That's a big line for a playoff game on the road.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who they play? Tulane?
Yeah, I don't think they cover that.
Bears are getting a 1.5. They're underdogs at home at Soldier Field.
Bears underdogs at home. I like the Bears in that game.
Me too. Jaguars are getting 1.5 over the Bill. No, they're are the Jags favored? No, they're getting one. The Jags are favored. Jags are favored over the Bills at home.
No, Jags they're plus money, so they're not. It's a push.
No, Bills are favored, right?
The money line is a push on mine. Should we take a collective parlay like we did last week? We lost, folks. We're 0 for 1. What the fuck, everybody?
Do you think the Eagles covered that 6?
6 is big. I mean, it started at what, 4? 3.5?
I thought it was 3.
3.5, I think it was.
3.5. I think it was 3.5.
I think they're trying to get 49er money. I think this thing is too slanted.
6. And get this. So you think this is going to be something like a 21-10 game. That's kind of what we're talking about a little bit here because it's only 44.5.
Nad says that Robert Saleh owns Hurt. How many times have they played versus each other, Nad?
Oh, Saleh was the head coach when the Jets beat him.
Oh, it's true. They had good talent on their defense.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. That's right.
Quinn Williams, Sauce Gardner, they had a bunch of those first-round picks.
So the Patriots are favored by 3.5 over the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Patriots in that game. I mean, who the heck is going to block for? I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't know how many people watch Chargers games. I watch a lot of them because I think Herbert's a great player. I think he's probably the closest quarterback to elite that of the ones I didn't mention. That offensive line is. You think the Eagles' offensive line is bad? Ha!
Yeah, but didn't they get Alt back?
Are they? Is he back for the playoffs? I don't know if he is.
Let me see here. I thought they got Alt back. I know
I
the
thought
other
he's coming
kids.
back if they win. I don't think he's back yet.
Let me see here.
I'll look it up for you.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not back.
No.
Yeah, they're
yeah, Alt's on IR. He's not. No, he's out. So, dude, they're going into this game with a guy named Junior Pumpkin. They got another guy named Jameer Saylor. Look at this. His name is Trey Pimpkins. I'm going to call him Junior Pumpkin. That's who they got playing right tackle in this game. Junior Pumpkin. Yeah.
Look at original fan. You can't even give a comment to a quarterback without Eagles fans losing their shit.
Excuse me?
Dude, Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. That's not hard to say, bro. He's got a good quarterback, man.
Oh, he beat you with a broken hand.
Yeah, I mean, just forget the Eagles game. The guy's uber talented.
Dude, he's
uber
great.
talented. Yeah, I mean, God.
He's a great football player, man. Yeah,
that offensive line is abysmal, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so hard to watch, like how bad that offensive line is.
What game do you think is going to be the most entertaining game wild card weekend?
Eagles Niners.
You don't think that Jags and Bills game will be?
That will be. I always think that the NFC is more entertaining.
Huh? Well, this year because you don't have Mahomes.
I just like. I mean, I know people like offenses and stuff, and like. I just feel like the NFC is better chess matches consistently each year. Maybe not though. Chiefs,
better rosters.
Ravens. I don't know. I guess I'm just an NFC guy, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I've always been an NFC guy.
Always been an NFC guy. Every
team I think Bears and Packers going to be great. That's obviously an old school rivalry. You know, there's a lot. That's a pretty sick playoff game. Bills Jags will be good. Yeah, I think those are the three.
I think the Green Bay game could be 13-10.
Well, Jordan Love
like
will be
that.
Bad. Packers, Bears, Bills, Jags, Eagles, Niners. Those are the best three.
If that Bears team gets that win, you have to go to Chicago, right?
Yep.
And you have to go on the road for the first time. Oh, no. How many times you gone on the road not Super Bowl? Only the Bucks? Is that right? You've only gone to Tampa twice.
Yeah, we've only lost 2 playoff games that weren't a Super Bowl with Nick and Jalen. And they're both in Tampa.
Man.
Versus Tom Brady and then versus Baker.
Wow. Man, that's a lot of success. That's a ton of success, man. I mean, listen, you could sit here, or me, I could sit here and bitch.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, get this, dude. 6-3, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and you're fucking
in 4 years, dude. Find me another quarterback that's got 6 playoff wins in
5 years. He's
4. He hasn't played yet this year. 4.
I know. Sunday will be 5 years they've gone to the playoffs.
And he could have got his 7th win.
7-3. Let me see that for a second here.
I did it this morning on Xander Time. We looked at all the great quarterbacks and their playoff records.
Where's he ranked?
Well, I mean, we looked up a bunch of names like Drew Brees, you know, Ben Roethlisberger, all these different.
I think Drew Brees is 9-7.
Yeah, that's what it was. Or 9-8.
Something like that.
Yeah, most of them are close to even. Though the outliers are. Wait, can you guess what Patrick Mahomes is in the playoff?
16-7.
17-3.
Holy fuck!
17-4.
17-4. Brady is 35-16.
And wait, ready? 2 of Mahomes' losses
are to Brady.
Well, no, are in the Super Bowl.
Brady, he lost an AFC Championship game to Brady.
Brady.
Yep. And so wait, his
That
three
was his first year in the playoffs.
So wait, his 3 losses are two to Brady and 1 to Jalen?
He's got 4. So he's got 2 to Brady, 1 to Brady in Tampa and Brady in New England.
Because he lost that.
He lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles, and he lost to Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship
That's
game.
right. That's right. So let me guess the second one. It's Montana. No, it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes second.
Brady is the other outlier, obviously. He's insane. His playoff record.
It's 35-16, I think.
Something like that. I think it's like less than that, 35-13 or something. 35-13. You know who actually had one of the best percentages-wise? I think Terry Bradshaw. His was 14-5.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's Aikman's?
We looked up Troy this morning. 11-5.
Man, is that? I think he's on that kind of project. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts gets 11-5 in the postseason. Slam dunk Canton. 11-5, bro. Look at all those guys who have over 10 wins. They're all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at like guys like Peyton Manning's like 14-13 or something.
I know. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He's like 13-12 or something.
Yeah. I'll look up Aaron.
I mean, he's
12-10.
He's 12-10. I mean, Isn't it wild that people always go, well, look, pedigree's made in the postseason. Then you look at some of these records, they're like, they're 500.
I think Joe's was pretty crazy. Joe Montana was 16-7.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty sick too.
Yeah.
Brady though, 35 playoff wins.
But here's
most quarterbacks be lucky to get to sniff 35 games.
That's right. Most people, I mean, got that. Yeah, 35 playoff wins.
35 playoff wins is fucking insane, dude.
How about this number with Montana? Montana had 138 quarterback rating in all 4 Super Bowls and never threw a pick and threw 15 touchdowns total.
Montana was insane, dude.
Hey, 15 TDs, no pick, 135 quarterback rating. Hey, man, this is a statement game here this is a statement run here for Jalen a little bit, isn't it? Doesn't this cement his?
I think, I do. I think Jalen knows that, the offense hasn't performed to standard this year. They've been, in a way, a deficiency for the team.
Isn't it the time to say, look, I can carry my team?
I really do. I will not be surprised on our post-game show on Monday morning if Jalen Hurts is one of the best games he's had all year. I will not. I will not even a little bit. I'm expecting it from him because he knows he needs to. This offense has been shot. Like Jalen, in my opinion, Jalen's like, if I don't elevate, we're not going to elevate. So I can't rely on. I mean, if you're Brock, okay, Kyle's going to have a hell of a plan coming into this game. You don't get that with Jalen. Jalen doesn't have that. Jalen's coming. He's got to make plays. He's got to pick up first downs with his legs, with his arm, however he can do it. He's got to spread the football around. He's got to do everything. And so I'm expecting a massive game from Jalen.
I'll tell you what, Xander, this is the moment where he can put people to sleep for once and for all.
No, because that will never happen.
Well, no, wait. I'm going to tell you how. If that guy goes, well, wait, the offense, you just said it. O-line's not good. The running game hasn't been as effective. You got a first-year play caller.
That's true.
He takes a team to a Super Bowl and wins it with all that shit. This is more impressive than a year ago.
To me, it's more about Jalen reminding everybody why people love him, why people fell in love with him in Philadelphia. Because, look, he does play a style of football. And again, I always reference my boy Caleb, who was on the post-game show, O-Line Guru. He talked about this. He's like, even as successful as Jalen is, that style of game he plays it's harder for the common person to see and understand the value of it.
And
right?
It's easier to poke holes in that.
Yeah, right. But everybody, most Eagle fans, even Jalen's biggest haters, all right, know how much he's played well in big moments. And this is, look, bro, Jalen, if you play mediocre every season for the rest of your career, but you rise up when the playoffs come, dude, that's all. I mean, so be it. I'd rather have that than the vice versa. Dak Prescott's got 10 years, 3 number 1 offenses in the league. I think he got his 4th this year, maybe.
Yeah, he did.
And he's got 2 playoff wins in 10 years. I don't want that.
That's right. It's 4 number 1
not,
offenses.
That's not
That's not a legacy.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. As fascinating as it can be, as good as it is, Dak is a great quarterback. I think he is. But
that's not
shit. I'd rather tell the story of Jalen Hurts by saying what he did when it mattered than telling the story about what he did in the regular season when we're bitching about the passing offense in week 10. So.
Yeah, man. I think that's a great take here because, like you said, I mean, look at the story and how you would say to Dak, man, he was a really good player in the pocket. He had a lot of top offenses in the NFL. Man, because he really good.
Yeah.
What did he do? Nothing.
And look, the funny part is it's not all on Dak. It's some on Dak. It's some on Dak, but it's not all on Dak. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'll take it with Jalen. And so far he's been that. 4 years, Sills. I mean, to walk out of there with the hardware we've walked out of there with is a beautiful thing. We got to keep building on it though. I don't, and they're not complacent. Jalen's not. I love that about him. You can tell he's not, doesn't rest on it. But
will you consider yourself a dynasty if you win another Super Bowl? Will the Philadelphia fan base, you'll be 3 Super Bowls in 4 years and 2 wins.
We'll be pretty close.
Hey, 4 years? Wait a minute. 4 years, 4 playoff runs, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 wins. Do you think that's a dynasty?
I've always looked at dynasties as like 3 or more.
3 or more.
And I don't like using 2018. I know it's not that long ago.
It's not. It's inside of 10 years.
But to me,
it's inside of 10 years. It's in 9 years.
It's a different everything.
Wait a second. In 9 years, you have 2 Super Bowl wins, and you would have.
Yeah, but I don't count that. Because if I say the Eagles dynasty, when I say the Cowboys dynasty, everybody knows exactly who
right,
and
3 and 5.
When I'm talking about. To me, it's got to be accomplished with this regime, this coach, this quarterback, and these guys. So 2
the Chiefs had one?
A little short. Yeah, Chiefs won 3 and 5, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 and 5.
For sure.
So you think 3 Super Bowls would give you. Would this be the greatest dynasty?
I tell you what, though, it makes me look back at 57 like, fuck, we got snaked.
Dude, if you win that Super Bowl, man.
That the more time goes on, the more I get pissed off about that.
Yeah,
call.
You know what? That's the one you left hanging on the wall.
And the Eagles played so well in that game and offensively.
Well, the quarterback had his best game as a
I still say to this day, that's the best game I've ever seen Jalen Hurts play. I know he had the fumble, and I know they didn't win the game. And I know they won last year, but I want people to – and I know Eagles fans don't like watching that game over, which I get. If you go back and watch even just watch the highlights from Jalen Hurts in that game, some of the throws he made in that game were fucking unbelievable. That throw to Goddard, that throw is seared into my head. That throw on the sideline, on the right sideline, over the defender, threading the needle. That was such a dime, man.
I got one here. I got one here for you. You ready?
Jalen, by the way, if they won that game, Jalen would already be going to Canton.
I got another one here for you. If the Eagles win another Super Bowl, is this the greatest dynasty in Philadelphia Eagle history?
Yeah, I think it already might be, dude.
Better than the Flyers going back to back?
Oh, you're talking about Philadelphia.
Yeah.
No, not better than the 70s Flyers. No way. But
if they win another Super Bowl, 2 and 3.
I don't know. How many championships did the Flyers win? 3?
2 in a row.
2 in a row. And 73 and 74?
I think it was 74, 75.
74, 75?
74, 75, they went back to back. That's really your only dynasty because the 83 Sixers, after that, they didn't do anything after that. And the next time you went to the finals was with Iverson.
Yeah, this is
Phillies
probably
have-
it, dude.
Yeah.
This might be it.
Wouldn't this be the best dynasty in the history of the city?
Holy shit. Yeah, it might be. Where's my boy Charlie Swift? Is he in the chat? Because he's a big Flyers guy. He always tells me, Xander, you weren't alive for the 70s Flyers teams. He would have a good answer on that.
I would tell you this about your city with the Flyers. They don't really like hockey. You know what they
No,
love?
that's not true.
Wait a second. I think they love that team.
When the Flyers win, this city is a hockey town for a little bit.
So when what's his name was in net and when they were winning games and you guys, the place was packed.
Flyers?
Yeah,
dude, the place was packed in 09 when they lost to the Blackhawks in the final. I was at one of the Stanley Cup games. I'll never forget it. Patrick Kane streaking up the left side of the ice. Scott Layton or whatever the goalie's name was is in goal. He's on the post like this. Patrick Mahomes shoots from the side. Looks like it was an angle that they would have never scored from, and nobody knew he scored. And Patrick Kane is streaking up the ice, dancing up the ice. Everyone's like, "What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened?" He scored from the side, win the game.
Did you send Mike North? Did you send Mike North this thing?
Yeah, I did, but I'm having major email issues. Tell him to check his spam box.
Okay, let me say this to him.
I did send it to him though.
Oh, of course I know. Let me see.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been spotty here. I did send it. I'm looking at it right now.
Hold on. Check your spam. Check your spam.
I don't know what's going on with this damn thing.
You've been saying that for the last couple days.
I know, right? Dude. I can't fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I've been looking it up. I chat GPT it. I don't know what the hell.
Let's see if you can. Let's see. You get the link. Let me see. You get the link. I'll be serious. I'll be curious. The weather is bad this week in Chicago. It's going to be windy and snow.
Well, that's an advantage to the Bears.
To the Bears. Yeah, I think it's an advantage to the Bears.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see what he's doing here. Let's see if he responds back here. I just sent it to him here. All right. I think we got a few supers here. We'll do those. See what he says here.
Here's Cal. That Super Bowl 57 still hurts me to this day. Cal, me too, bro. Honestly, the more we get removed from it, the more it pisses me off.
That's his best performance, don't you think?
Yeah, that was. I mean, I know he fumbled, and I know it impacted.
You know, I've never really killed him on that.
Dude, that was a fluke fumble.
I know.
Rewatch it. I mean, it was a fluky fumble. It wasn't like Jalen made a bad decision in the pocket or he stood there and wasn't aware. It was a fluky snap, fluky fumble. It was a fluke fumble. You know, ultimately costly, but a fluky fumble. Outside of that, he was perfect in that game. All right, here we go. Hogan. 49ers defense will load the box and want. That's what I said. I think so too. Because their defense already sucks, Hogan. So what are you going to do else? You know, what are you going to do? Here's Kimberly. Love Mario. Beck is better than you think. Purdy 2.0. I don't know about that.
He ain't Brock Purdy.
Nah, he plays a different brand of football.
I bet you Mike North was sitting around praying to those Notre Dame dudes going, oh, no, you know, Miami, oh, they go. They're going to play for the national title now.
I'm a Miami guy now because of Big Sills. We need dual threat to playoff run, Cal says. I agree with that. Need Jalen to run the ball.
Yeah,
I think he's going to, too. You know,
run the ball.
The way John's explained it to me is that they understand that getting older, you can't run the ball as much as Jalen was. So that's what I think the numbers are down this year for that reason.
That's exactly.
Derek says, having Hurts move out of the pocket should be our game plan. Well, that's always what he does.
You know, they don't do a lot of that at all. They don't sprint him out a lot.
Well, it's not designed that way, but it's naturally the way they play because Hurts bails on the pockets a lot. I mean, that's kind of his game. He's not
he bails, but I don't think he doesn't design sprints like Aaron Rodgers.
No, they don't, which I think they should do more.
Yeah.
Khaled says Barkley will have a big game, 27-17 Eagles. I got
a big game, 120?
23-16. I'm good with it. It's my score. William says, I have no faith in Patullo turning into Walsh overnight. Yeah, me neither, buddy. Dan, when things go stale and conservative, should Hurts go rogue when Patullo clams up? Potentially.
Hey, so when you say big game, 120 yards rushing?
In this type of game, yeah, but it's more about first down. Like, if it's 120 because he had a 70-yarder, I'd rather give me 5-6 a clip.
Yeah.
That, to me, is effective running in a game like this.
Yeah.
Jim Adams, We lost the Super Bowl and the World Series in like a 3-month span. That's true.
It's true. You did.
I'm aware. Dang, I know. I watched them both. I went to the World Series game. I sat front row of the second level, which is actually a great seat. Right on the above the bullpen. It's a great seat. Front row, nobody in front of me. Second level, but it's right front row. And the Philadelphia Phillies got no hit. They got fucking no hit.
Sanders goes up and he's our no hit.
Me and my pop are at the game. Or even pop like, Krause, are they ever going to get a hit? He's like, man, brutal. But it was a hell of a
inning, and they're going, where the hell's going on here? The game's over ridiculous. 2 hours and 11 minutes, too, probably, right?
Yeah, so, but. All right, Sills, let's see what happens this weekend.
I can't wait to Sunday, man. I can't wait to see these wild card weekends, too.
We got an exciting couple of days. We got tonight. Yeah. We got tomorrow. You got the Rams and you got Bears, Packers. Great divisional
and
rivalry. Monday night, a little bit less exciting, but again, you got 4 days of good football here.
And get this, as I'm doing my friends in Chicago, and there's a big game in Chicago. Okay, we got a big game in Chicago. It's a little windy too.
If
That's
they get
gonna
the
be
win,
blowing Mike North's hair all over
the win
there in that thing, right?
And if the Eagles get the win and the Bears get the win, we're gonna have a fun segment next week.
Oh, you bet. That's gonna be fun. All right, brother. I'll see you on Sunday. Xander, great stuff as always, my friend.
Later, brother. Appreciate you, man.
You got it. Thank you, brother. That is Big Z. That's Xander Krause. All right. Hey, who would have thought at the beginning of the year we're like tying Philadelphia and Chicago together here with my friend Mike North. I love talking to this dude. By the way, Philly 500 was absolutely great this week, and the Philly Godfather is also going to join us when we get an opportunity. That's going to be at 5:30. As we do this, before we bring Mike North on, nobody remembers the 3rd and inches flash start when Hurts fumbled. Also, Flyers went to 3 in a row and lost the last one due to major players missing. Oh, I didn't know they went to 3. You want to hear this before I bring Mike North in? Every year I was in high school, the New York Islanders won the Stanley Cup. Every single year that they were there, Dennis Potvin and all them dudes, I think they won 27 consecutive series. Try that out for you. That'll never be broken. Ever be broken. 27 consecutive series. And get this, they went to a 5th, and then they got shut out 4-0 to the Edmonton Oilers. If you remember that. Not that people are hockey fans, but in Chicago and in Philly, they are. I think the Blackhawks, greatest emblem in the history of professional sports is that Blackhawk emblem. I just love that thing. All right, without further ado, the wind will be a-blowing in Chicago. I wonder what he says and what he thinks about Mike Cain's last night. We bring in our friend, and I love that we're friends now, the legendary Mike North from Chicago. He joins us right now here. How you doing, bro?
It's amazing what a toupee and false teeth can do for you. By the way, Glenn Hall, Mr. Goalie, #1. I saw him as a kid. He passed away at the age of 94 the other day.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He played with no mask. I mean, most of those guys in the 60s didn't wear masks if you were a goalie, which was insane. You had strong hitters like Frank Mihaljevic and Bobby Hull and guys like that winding up from 20 feet away in 100-mile-an-hour slap shots. Ed Jockerman was the Rangers goalie in 62. By 66, his black hair had turned a pitch white because they didn't have masks. So now,
right.
Tony Esposito had a mask, but it was just like the flat thing that you'd see in horror movies. You know what I mean?
I am so tight with Phil Esposito because Phil and I are dear friends because he was the guy that kind of brought hockey to Tampa, you know? And
absolutely.
He was 700 goals.
We gave him up. The Blackhawk, he was Blackhawk. Him and Bobby Hull were like line mates. We gave him up. We gave up Kenny Hodge. We gave up 3-4 key pieces for that Stanley Cup team. That Boston Bruin team. We gave up a Pie-Face McKenzie.
Was it true that they gave Bobby Orr a percentage of the team? Is that how they got him there? Was it something like that? Or
I do know this. I'm not sure about that, but we got Bobby Orr when he was finished with the Blackhawks. So, he was done, but he was he revolutionized the game for a defenseman. as other guys do as the years go on. But yeah, I mean, Glenn Hall was great, and hockey. They don't talk enough about the legends of the game like they used to. They do the games well now. I like you can actually with the big screen TVs now, Dan, see the puck. When we were kids, you couldn't even see the puck.
Yeah,
You'd watch
black
on
and
your
white.
12-inch. Yeah, black and white TV. And it was a 12-inch portable TV. So when you got to go, you had to take their word for it.
I like how you have dismissed my comments on my Hurricanes now. I mean, I know that I've seen that you're kind of going off and you're giving me Eddie JAKIB.
First of all, I do want to know this. I do say this. All due respect, I had no axe to grind. I do have a problem with the quarterback in his 7th year in college football. You know what I mean?
I heard that, and I thought it was a myth. I thought he was out of his mind.
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I
thought that Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean and Keely Ringo, currently on the Eagles, were teammates with that guy.
Yeah,
4 years ago at Georgia.
I had no axe to grind with him. I thought Mississippi played well. I thought the wrong thing to do. I thought they blew it on the touchdown play. You don't play man-to-man that close. And what happened was you could do it in touch football. You have 5 guys that go out for a pass, 4 go to the right, okay, and 1 guy cuts underneath, or nobody cuts underneath, and there was nobody for half of the end zone for Mississippi. So it was an absolute blown call, and I give all the credit for Miami. I'm happy for him. I did figure out where I've seen Michael Irvin before, okay, and in our neighborhood, he was the guy that bought our beer. That guy, I mean, he looks just like the guy that used to buy our beer. We had this black dude named Jake, and I'm watching last night. I go, where do I know this guy from? He lived in my buddy's building in the basement apartment. I'm going, geez. And the guy used to go like this to us. He'd go, hey, give us a 6-pack of Old Milwaukee.
Hey, Old Milwaukee.
Man,
only in Chicago, Old Milwaukee.
He'd go, shh, man in blue. Be careful. He might be related to Michael Irvin, but I'm happy for him.
Wait a minute. The beer fell off the back of the truck. Is that what you're saying?
No. We had a bum. He wasn't a bum, but he was a guy that didn't work a lot. And he'd buy our beer for us because we were underage. I mean, we were 14, 15 years old. And I kept saying, where do I know Mike Irvin
buying Mike North Slits in old Milwaukee.
That's right. That's what we did when we were kids. Now they've done graduated, I guess,
Holy cow, the guy looks like the guy that lived under my stairs buying me beers when
Absolutely.
I was a kid.
Michael Irvin's out of his mind, by the way, but I you know what? God bless him. He pulled the belt out last night. He's the show.
Hey, listen, you don't know the shit I get from everybody calling and going like this. Sills, is he okay? And I'm like, he did this. You see, Mike, I want to give it to you.
Oh, I look. Great receiver.
Wait, no, Mike, here's what you don't hear. This is why you didn't like Miami back in the day. Is because this guy's a professional agitator.
Oh, no doubt.
And he pisses everyone off. And he did it when I was a player, when he was with the Cowboys in the
Oh,
game.
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Now he's a professional agitator.
Let me tell you something. He's proof that you can do a million things wrong and keep working. You know what I mean? Whoever his agent, I think his agent is a buddy of mine, Steve Mandel in Chicago.
Yes, Steve Mandel.
Yeah, that guy works miracles, man. Because Michael Irvin has had a checkered media career, and he survived. So God bless him. But I always say, don't steal from the kids. And I just think, today I'm looking at social media. He's all over the place. God bless him. But hey, Miami, here's what Cristobal's the first coach that will give you a fist pump and start sweating at the same time in the second quarter. He's a coach. My dad always said, watch the Generals or someone that sweat. Okay. They're expecting the worst. And all night Cristobal was expecting the worst. He sounded relieved when they scored a touchdown, but then, Mississippi that running back ran 50, 60 yards. So it's going to be a great game next week. I see where Indiana's favored by 3.5. That might be a game I might try to middle. Because a lot of games, I had one like that last week.
You got Indiana winning tonight over Oregon.
That's a game I might middle. Take Indiana minus the 3.5 and take on the money line and take Oregon plus the 3.5 and hope it lands on one, 2, or 3. I think it could be one of those close games. It's hard to beat somebody twice in a row. Okay, but Indiana, to me, the spread, I couldn't believe it was only 3.5. Indiana played like the Lombardi Packers used to play.
Yeah.
They never make a mistake. There's
Ever.
no false starts.
So well coached.
Nothing. They're so well coached, so well drilled. And then I see Oregon by 3.5, and I'm going, that don't seem right. I thought it was going to be 4.5 or 5. Maybe it started. I think it did start at 4.5, and it went down. People have been believing in Oregon forever. Okay, see, are you going to get it done? We'll see. But I want to see Indiana win. They'd be the first team to go 16-0 ever, except the 1898 Yale team. 1898. Yeah, that's what I do. So that's what I want to see happen. But we'll see. I'm going to probably try to middle that game, Dan.
All right, let me take you into Chicago because this really has a lot of playoff ramifications. And first and foremost, were you shocked that the Eagles rested their players at the end of the year, didn't really play the Washington team, and kind of surrendered that two-hole because you guys got upset by the Lions, if you think that was an upset or not, but
No.
They kind of surrendered the second hole. Were you shocked by that?
Yes, I was shocked by that. It better work. Because if it doesn't work, if the Eagles were to lose this game, and I don't know if they're going to, I would probably take the points. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will win. I saw the future of the Eagles without Jalen Hurts, and I noticed people are lightening up on him now.
Oh, yeah, no more Tanner McKee talk.
Yeah. Enough is enough. And I knew that from the beginning. You got a winner at quarterback. The one thing I caution is if San Francisco was to somehow get the lead early, he's going to have to figure out a way to pass him. But they're losing. They've lost their linebacker core. They got some other guys pretty dinged up.
Lost
on defense.
Bosa too. Lost
Yeah.
Bosa.
So and plus Bosa from a long time. So they should win this game. I might take San Francisco light for 5.5, and because hey, it's a playoff game. And by the way, San Francisco's desperate. This could be, I don't know about you or your listeners, but I think the window's starting to close on some certain players on that team. Dinged up, Kittle,
Trent Williams.
Yeah, they have, and you got other guys.
It's up to 6 now, Mike.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's like my bookie once said, I said, let's take it in today's game. I called my bookie one time about 25 years ago, and let's pretend it was today. And
no, wait a minute. Is he Italian guy or Irishman?
He talked like this. How you doing, kid?
Okay,
What's
then
going
he's a
on?
paisan.
Yeah, exactly. His name was
He
Tony.
must be from Blue Island, so I'm going to go there.
No, I'm not going to tell you. It was the north side, though. And, yeah, guy had a laundromat. So I'd go like for the game with Frisco, I'd go, give me San Francisco plus 6. And he'd go give you San Francisco. Who are they playing? I go, well, they're playing Philadelphia. He'd go, it's the first time I've written down the 49ers. See, That's how it's going right now. I understand with Philadelphia, the money, everything going the Eagles' way right now.
That's why the line's going up like the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes
it started at 3.5.
Yeah. Sometimes the casinos raise the line on their own. And people think that it's people betting that team. But this one.
So that's phony money then. Is that right?
Well, what I'm saying is sometimes they'll see where they can reel more people in by giving a team another half a point. Where I'm looking at this as I'm hearing that people don't even know who Philadelphia's playing. Give us Philadelphia. And you got McCaffrey on that team. You got Purdy on that team. Kittle, he's a guy that, 2 years from now could be on the shelf. He's getting dinged up a little bit, missed a lot. Yep. They're missing their defense. So I just think that, and you got some of your guys coming back, including your fine linebacker. So I think Philadelphia's going to win, but I like the 5.5, and I'll wait to bet if it's up to 6. So
Yeah, so 6, you're taking the Niners in the number.
But I think the game's won by Philly by 3.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a low-scoring game. Give me the Chicago game. What do you think of Chicago, Green Bay? What do you got here in the Windy City at Soldier Field? Is there got to be excitement going on?
Oh, we're definitely jacked. We never thought we'd be here. Ben Johnson's done a tremendous job. We're not. I'm not so completely on Caleb Williams, but this has been a good year for him, even though he throws for only 58%. But the weather's supposed to be horrible. I heard somebody say, "Oh, that's bear weather." Well, no, the Packers play in bad weather too. So I mean,
Right.
are you kidding me? You ever hear of the Ice Bowl?
Yeah.
So I really, and I've been following the Bears since 1961. I was a 9-year-old kid. I love them with all my heart. Here's what I'm going to say. The Lombardi Packers scared the hell out of me. The Reggie White, Brett Favre Packers scared the hell out of me. The Aaron Rodgers teams scared the hell out of me. I knew we weren't good enough. We're good enough to beat this team. We're good enough to beat Green Bay, and it's only a 1-point spread, although we're the underdog right now at 1 or 1.5.
What does that mean, Mike, when you're the underdog and you're the home team and you're given a point up? What does that tell you about the game?
I think it tells you, first of all, the history of Green Bay against us is very good.
Yes.
Okay. Green Bay is renowned as a better franchise as far as game day. They've had the name players. Although the Bears and them have played very, very close over all.
It's the oldest rivalry in football.
Yeah. And by the way, this Amazon thing.
Oh, God.
What are you doing? You people are so greedy. It's so sad. Hey, I heard somebody say, well, everybody's got Amazon. Oh, really? I'll take you plenty areas in Chicago where they're lucky they have a lamp. You know what I mean? So Don't give me the crap. Everybody's got this. Everybody's got that. That, with the rivalry that they have, they don't give a crap about anybody. Goodell for sure. And it's just a money grab. That's all this is. And they're going to bring us to 18 games. It's nothing but a touch football league for the most part now. I see better hits in college football. This targeting's got to go, by the way. Oh, my God. It just makes me sick. I mean, helmets accidentally collide when the running back lowers his head.
That's right.
At the same time, the guys, how are you supposed to?
If the guy changes the angle point,
that's right,
hitting a guy, how's that
right?
target?
They kicked that kid out of the game last night. I don't have no X to grind with either team. How do you throw a kid out of the title game with that incident? Targeting was supposed to be intentional, launching yourself. Now they're falling and hitting helmets, and they're giving the guy the boot.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So that it's all nonsense. But I love my Bears. I love my Bears.
Do they win?
They can win easily.
No.
Do
they win?
Yeah, I believe in it because I heard Dan Orlovsky say, well, unless the Bears get multiple turnovers, they can't win games. They were 2-6 against winning teams, and they only had. Well, wait a minute. They beat Green Bay. Green Bay only had 1 turnover. They fumbled 3 times. And then he says, this is great. He goes, well, and I watched this guy quarterback, folks. He was the absolute worst. All I'm going to say is, he says, well, all Green Bay has to do is handle the football. Like, if you tell yourself that you're not going to get tagged and fumble, or you're not going to throw interceptions, the plan for everybody is not to turn over the football, Danny boy. But then things happen. You think the plan against the 85 Bears is to never turn the ball over. We don't want to turn the ball over. The next thing you know, the quarterback's laying dead and the ball's rolling down the field.
Okay.
They got a shot.
For the Bears to win this game, they have to do what?
Run the football.
Run it.
And get 2 turnovers. If they run the football, get 2 turnovers, that means they were winning and they had short field at least for 2-3 possessions. But the weather's supposed to be horrible. We've had 55 degrees. I mean, yesterday They had a leaky roof at the
55
United.
degrees. You guys get your beach towels out. It's
Well, yeah, yesterday, but we're been clobbered this year. But the humidity and everything screwed up the floor at the United Center. The Bulls had to call off the basketball game yesterday. You know, you want to talk about it, this is the house of Jordan, for Christ's sake, and it's falling apart for God's sake. You know, yeah.
All right, I got another game for you here.
I love when you can bring up other things.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a game for you here.
Okay.
Of all the weekend games, what game do you think has the best opportunity at an upset? Chargers, Patriots, in Gillette up in Foxborough? Do you think Jaguars in Florida there with the Bills? Do you think on Monday night, Texans, Ravens, or that Rams, who, by the way, Carolina beat a couple weeks ago? Of all these games here, which team do you think has a better chance of pulling off the upset, going in and winning the game?
Well, first of all, I'll give you the Panthers got to be sick of saying that they were lucky. The Rams played a crap game, and it's in the National Football League. So the Panthers are going to come loaded, and I think they could cover. But you said the Ravens instead of the
Steelers, right? Steelers.
Right. But that's okay, because I have been saying on this show, and for 3 years I've been saying that John Harbaugh should have been fired. I said it last week on the Dan Sileo on this show that against New England they took the.
So you weren't shocked when they fired him.
What?
You weren't shocked?
Oh no, he's blown more leads in the fourth quarter of games.
He's won 180 games in 18 years.
He had a great opportunity, but he only won one Super Bowl in 18 seasons. And I hear it's all Lamar Jackson's fault. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson didn't pull Derrick Henry against the Patriots and forget about him. And there were rumors that players were falling asleep in meetings. Lamar Jackson said, well, you think John Harbaugh would let me fall asleep and get away with it? You think John Harbaugh would never put your fullback back in the game that was averaging 7 yards a carry? He made some mistakes. I think ownership called him out on it. I don't think they liked what happened against New England because it made things more difficult. As we see now, they're out of the playoffs. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I think the Steelers are the upset of the week.
Steelers?
Yes.
Upset the Texans?
Yes. I think Aaron Rodgers, unbelievable. He gets rid of the ball.
And he gets DK Metcalf back.
Yeah, and he can throw the football as good as he's thrown it since 2020. They're a methodical team. And besides that, I think Mike Tomlin, I like watching him on the sidelines. He looks like Shaft. Looks like Richard Roundtree, you know. I gotta tell you something.
I think he looks more like Billy D. Williams, man, playing Gale Sayers.
I love that film. Do you know that Luke Gossett Jr. was supposed to play Gale Sayers?
Is that right? I love that movie.
And he blew out his Achilles training, and Billy D. Williams got the job. But
I asked Billy D. Williams one time when I met him in L.A.
Yeah,
we were at an event, and I go, "What was your favorite movie you ever made?" And I was so glad that he said the Gale Sayers movie.
Oh yeah.
That he goes like this, and he was talking about Brian's song, and I go, bro, I mean, still to this day, when you watch that movie, it brings a tear to your eye and how that whole thing happened.
Well, I mean, my neighborhood, nobody's going to say Mahogany was Billy D. Williams. To be honest with you, not a whole lot of viewers in my neighborhood to go see a Diana Ross and a Billy D. Williams, although I love them both very much, you know. But
I love that.
And Luke Gossett Jr. would have been great as he would have. And James Conn looked nothing like Brian Piccolo. And the key here is I knew Gale Sayers very, very well.
You know what? You know who Piccolo looked more like who's the guy that played in
Barzini in The Godfather? No, I don't know.
No. You know who he looked?
John
Brian
Saxon.
Piccolo, yeah. What's the guy's name from Florida State that played at Florida State as a big
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds. He looked more like him.
He did. And Brian was a warrior. Loved watching him play at Wrigley Field.
Wake Forest, right?
Yeah, went to Wake Forest. And Gale Sayers and him played in the same backfield for a year or two together. They were tough yard. Yeah, he was a tough yardage guy, a great performer, and he's a legend here in Chicago. So, you know, they
still have an event for him.
Oh yeah, they have the Bears are that's one thing they've never lost touch with Brian. The Brian Piccolo Foundation. I know his wife's
still alive too, right?
Yeah, and who?
The wife's still alive.
Oh,
She's-
yeah. Joyce got remarried.
Yeah.
First of all, I couldn't have been happier that Shelley Fabares got the role of Joyce in Brian's song. I'm a huge Shelley Fabares fan from Donna Reed days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the sensation, I think Nancy Pace played Gail's wife. Okay, the first wife. Gail ended up getting a good divorce. His wife now Artie is still alive too. Artie Sager.
What a great. So now the news.
Well, Doug the phone was in it. Obranovich, Butkus, they were all in the movie.
So was Abe
Ralph
Gibbons.
Couric.
Was Abe Gibbons in that too?
Abe Gibbons in it. You know, Ralph Couric was really.
No, he was in Tampa he was in Tampa at one time as an assistant coach.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Abe Gibbons, a character, man.
Yeah.
I like all the time. Yep.
Yeah, dude. There was a guy by the name of Armstrong too that was there.
Neil Armstrong.
What?
Neil Armstrong. I would have rather had the astronaut than this guy.
The astronaut guy, right?
Yeah.
So what's the story with the Gary stuff? How's that thing rolling with the Gary and moving the Bears to Gary?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
That's all right. I was dusting.
Yeah.
It's gone away for now. Somebody screwed up, but they buried it. That's what they do. The media here is so weak. They do what they're told. They bury it. They don't talk about it anymore. So,
oh, cow, it's like the old mayor of Chicago, Daley.
Yeah.
When something goes sideways, they just bury it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, the sports media now is journalistic wise. That's why newspapers are closing down, are weak, one-sided, not balanced, catered to the teams, even if they suck. So it's not the same.
They do that in Philly now too, by the way. What is the Mike North Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock of the week?
I'm going to go 2. I'm taking the Jacksonville Buffalo game, folks, and I want everybody to listen. Pull up a chair. Come on.
There we go.
All right. That's a game. If I tell Dan it's a quarterback game, it's a pick-it game, I'm picking the best quarterback of the 2. And right now it's Josh Allen.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear he has no roster. That doesn't matter. He's Josh Allen.
Yes.
Okay, that's why he's where he's at. I think the Jaguars got the better all-around team.
Yeah.
They might have the better coach, but they don't have Josh Allen. And Trevor Lawrence has had a fantastic season. No reason to bang on him. He brought him there. He had to withstand guys like goofs like Urban Meyer and Peterson and these guys. You know, just a nightmare. They made the Bears almost look good. And so I'm going to go Buffalo, and then I'm going with because I'm bitter about this playoff talk for Stafford. I want Drake May to just beat the crap out of the Chargers, and I think he's got a good chance to. The Chargers, a lot of people talking about a possible upset. When you talk about a possible upset, it's not an upset then. You know something's going to happen. Upsets happen, like Villanova beating Georgetown, when you feel there's no way in hell they can win the game. Nobody picks you. Nobody picks you at all. And I'm hearing a lot of Charger action, so go for it. Okay, and we'll see what happens. I love Drake May. I think he's had a fantastic season. Should get MVP, but we'll see.
Absolutely, my friend. I love catching up with you, and I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday. And by the way, if you win the game, Eagles win next week. It's Bears Eagles.
The hair on the back of my neck standing up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, Dan, really, to the Hurricanes and to that team. And you know what? I think they're going to, because and I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight, but the Indiana story is huge. They're both huge stories. And if Miami wins, then we know Notre Dame should have been in the playoffs.
Absolutely. You know what? My problem's not with Notre Dame not being in. My problem
Alabama
is some of the other teams that were in there.
How about the SEC going 2-8?
How about this? This will be the third time in a row, 3 years in a row, that there's no representative from the Southeastern Conference. And get this, if Oregon or Indiana does win the national championship,
3 in a row, baby.
3 years in a row, the Big Ten will have 3 different teams win the national championship.
Paul Feinbaum, the marketing the SEC has done over the last 30 years has gotten them to the point. Paul Feinbaum, for instance, lives still in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody that said someday I'm gonna make a lot of money and move to Birmingham. Okay, Alabama. Okay, because he's a god there, because he's as important for the SEC, and I give him all the credit in the world.
He can run for governor of that state.
Even though he's full of crap, and he said that the SEC would win the national championship this year. He's a bag man for the SEC, but without Paul Feinbaum, they would not be where they're at. And now the whole ESEC TV station is like, oh, that way. I think the Big Ten's got to get a spokesperson. I think the Big Ten's got to get a carnival barker. And I think the Big Ten network's got to be more prevalent. Yet when they play on the field, they do what I always thought they would do. I always thought the SEC got perks that other teams and other leagues didn't, like playing on the league.
ESPN's going to pimp them because that's their property.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: they had
and
8.
Fox is the carrier of Big Ten.
Yeah, and they do a very quiet job. I will say
it's quiet.
The conference for the SEC conference all these years to be allowed to play 8 conference games when everybody else had to play 9 tells you it was rigged from the beginning. So now they're playing the games, and now I'm enjoying myself watching them out of the playoffs completely.
What did you make? Final thing here. What did you make of Lane Kiffin pulling those coachings and the coaching?
I think I don't like Lane. I think he's an attraction, though. I thought leaving LSU was a mistake. I mean, leaving Mississippi was a mistake. I thought, how much money do you really need? And him going to LSU, to me, I mean, Brian Kelly proved it. Okay. And I think that he's going to be competing against other schools that have as much money, but I also think he can't be trusted. And if you're a father, you want to send your kid to LSU.
No. I can't believe that's Monty Kiffin's kid.
Right. I do know this. Your kid could be there for 2 years. And then we talked about this on Twitter, folks, because Dan and I, we have a bond now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and we talked on Twitter. The Butch Davis story, to me, is the most interesting story where greed brought in bad judgment and trying to have an ego to go and think you could turn around an organization that was.
Let me give you what happened, Mike. And you were right what you said.
Okay.
So here's what happened. University of Miami was, even with Jimmy and with Howard Schnellenberger, notorious for underpaying head coaches. They just did not want to pay big money. So Butch was asking for $1 million raise. Miami came in and said, absolutely not.
1.3. They gave him 300,000 raise offer per year, I think. Or
and he was like, and then all of a sudden, Rich Lerner, who owned the Browns before Haslam,
I remember,
came in and said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3.5 a year over 5 years. And all of a sudden, it changed overnight. And Butch went like this. Butch was, I think, 49 or something. And Butch came in, then went back to the AD. And I think it was still Sam Jankovic. And he went to the AD and he said, I'm leaving for Cleveland. Butch went, took the money. And he's told me, and he's been on my program numerous times, his biggest mistake of his entire life.
There's no doubt. I said
leaving the University of Miami. And
my God, he goes 11-1, and then Larry Coker comes in and doesn't cause a stir.
Right, wins those titles with that great team he built.
Yeah, he says, "I'll be like Barry Switzer was at Dallas when they won the Super Bowl. I'm going to just watch. I'll be over here."
That's what he did.
You guys need me. He did the smart thing.
I think Coker sucks as a coach.
Oh, he was horrible, and he let him get away with murder. They had some problems over there,
and he won the championships that Butch should have had.
And Butch. I don't care how much money. I've walked away from big money. It's hard to do. But you know what? If you made big money already, it don't hurt you. That's why you can. Now, Butch was making great money. Now, they weren't going to give him the $3 million. I don't know if he walked in and said, I'm offered $3 million a year from Cleveland. Can you match?
No, he just took it.
And that was wrong. And to promise the kids you're going to come back. I'm sorry.
He went back into the team meeting the next day and said, I'm staying, and left that night.
And that's a shame because he'd be working at Miami maybe still. Who knows?
Yeah, because his biggest regret is leaving UM.
Absolutely. I thought he did. I said, what is he doing? It's because of the organization he took over at Cleveland. It was a short shift. That's what it was.
He took the bag. He took the bag.
Yeah, and I understand what you said. I get it. But his reputation now, and another guy, he got in trouble at North Carolina then. He gets the job in North Carolina. They have recruiting violations.
That's right.
So it just went sideways for him after that. But I hope it was worth the money for him.
Here's what happened with Gary Wildcard. If you remember right, Gary Wildcard was Brian Bosworth's agent, right?
Right.
Gary Wildcard was also, and this is a fact, you can look it up. Gary Wildcard was under FBI investigation.
Never good.
He was the FBI was investigating him, but Gary Wildcard also was in cahoots with Mel Kiper. And what happened with those guys was this. So Gary Wildcard would get a guy and a client. He would go to Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper would never manipulate the first or second round. Now, this is allegedly.
But he could play with allegedly the third, fourth, fifth round. He would play with
the allegedly third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth rounders who were not fourth and fifth and sixth rounders. And what they would do is they would elevate those guys because Mel would talk about them and they would get drafted in the second round. Well, guess who donated to Mel Kiper's website when it came to drafting? Gary Wildcard. He dies. That stuff all went away. And Butch was swallowed up in that because some of the kids that were there, like that kid, remember Quinn, who played for the Bears?
Yeah.
Robert Quinn, he was part of all that.
Couldn't play dead. I predicted from day one. I go, wow. But you know what? It was a shame. But you know what?
Well, Kiper was manipulating the fourth and fifth and sixth, allegedly. He was allegedly manipulating the guys' draft values, just like with Shedeur Sanders. He kept saying that Shedeur Sanders was a 1. He went in a 5th.
Yeah.
And that was
and you know what? There was an embarrassment for him. That's the most embarrassed.
He's still going out today, still saying that the Browns. He said that Shedeur had a spectacular season. I think the guy Tyler Shuck down in New Orleans had a better year.
Yeah, he did. The kid, the New Orleans. Look. I'll tell you a guy. I don't know where John Harbaugh's going to go. Jackson Dart. They don't want him running. Okay, because of concussions. Here's what I'm going to say. You're going to lose again then, because when he was able to be a two type of threat, running and passing, he was really good. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I think New Orleans is a good over bet next year with that kid, the new kid.
You're going to go into 26. They said with him, Mike. We're going to roll. I love you, man. We'll see you next
brother.
week.
Take care. I love it. Hey, yo.
You got it, man. We'll see you next week. Hey, that's my friend Mike North. All right, let me pay some bills here. We're going to have the legendary Philly Godfather come on with us here. We'll talk some props. We'll get ready for the weekend and talk these playoff games. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, folks, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. With over $30 billion recovered, they're the number one injury law firm in America for a reason. They win. Simple as that. Simple as that. This is a family-run business. You know, it's one of the biggest businesses in the country, and it's still family-run. Ultima Morgan, I see those commercials. I absolutely love the fact that she's now being part of talking about their story. It's not about selling anything. It's about the story of Morgan & Morgan. It's number one when it comes to defending families like yours. Easiest decision you ever make in your life. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I was just asked to do something, and I'll do it. So, and both of these were won at the Orange Bowl. I've showed some of you guys this before. The 1983 National Championship. Big Sills right there. University of Miami, title number 1. '87. Let's see. Big Sills? No, it's this way. Yeah. So I think winning multiple championships in college football, no way. I think it's harder to win today than it was in my day. Okay? Let's see. See this here? I don't think you're going to see this. Like you saw at Alabama with guys with multiple rings, guys with multiple national championships. That. Howard Schnellenberger designed this ring after the undefeated Miami Dolphins because he was on that coaching staff. Jimmy designed this one. This is Jimmy's national title ring that we won. See, look. Orange Bowl. Oh, it's this way. Orange Bowl there. Orange Bowl here. Miami gets to host these games. And now we get to host a game again. Yeah, dude. One thing we never could do. Back-to-back national titles. Alabama. Sandra, how many times did Bama do it under Saban? It's crazy. Back-to-back national titles. I mean, how many times did he do that at Alabama? Nick Saban go back to back. Did he do it twice? Freaking impossible. We every, you know, I mean, you get tripped up. Now, we had 2 30-game win streaks at one time in, like, Devontae. How about Devontae's? Get this, guys. So Jalen Carter, hook me up if I'm right on this. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, am I right when I say this? They got 3 straight SEC titles. No, they got beat by Bama by 3 for the third one. So they've got 2 SEC championship rings. They've got 2 national title rings. They've got 2 NFC title rings. And they got a Super Bowl ring. How many years has Carter been in the league? 4? So in the last 6 years of Jalen Carter, am I right when I say this? Like in the last 6 years of Jalen Carter's career, in college and in the pros, Jalen Carter has 2 national championship rings. He's got 2 NFC title rings. He's won the division now 3 times. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Dude, that's freaking unbelievable. I mean, that guy doesn't know anything about losing. Jordan Davis also has, like, I mean, the jewelry boxes on those guys. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, I think he won the Lombardi Award. Says you got to go to the national championship game. Your boys may win it all. I know, man. My phone's blowing up today. Testaverdes text me. My Facebook is through the roof. I didn't really answer too many people last night. Xander was one of them. Hey, Big Z. Now listen, I know that you're having issues with the internet. Should I tell Philly Godfather too? Check spam. Hey, check spam. Check spam. If not, we'll resend. We will resend. Let me know. We will resend. So again, I'm sure he sent it, bro. I just told him to check spam. So we'll see if he gets it here. Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's coming. As soon as he can get on here with us. I have my brother's Gator Bowl ring. Dude, great bowl game. Those things are worth money, man. Okay, they're worth big money. I saw a guy who had I saw a guy with a Rose Bowl. I saw a guy with a Rose Bowl ring. Like Gary Cobb's got a national championship ring, and I think he's got 2 Rose Bowl championship rings, if I'm not mistaken. Seals Carter has 2 natties and 1 Super Bowl and 2 NFC championship rings. You get a conference title ring. If you get the conference championship, you get a ring for that. So Jalen Carter's jewelry box is insane as a player. And I'm sure he was an elite high school guy, and I'm sure he won state championships. Okay, so you know, I mean, incredible in what he's been able to do. Testaverdes call didn't get intercepted. Well, I got to tell you, man, national championship game. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, the next guy who's rolling up here, I think he got something to do about that a little bit, because I think there was a guy who's got this book out. I think he was picking the University of Miami to go the whole way and the whole distance. This guy's had a sensational season. One of my favorite segments of the week. He is my friend, the legendary Philly Godfather, and he joins us right now. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Dan? Everything good?
Hey, man, good, man. How much weight you lost?
I lost some weight. I don't even know what I'm at right now. Probably like 45, 50 pounds.
What are you drinking out of a sippy cup now?
Actually, I left the house today and I was drinking beef broth and chicken broth out of one of those warmer things. And just, cutting the carbs out, cutting the bread, the rice, the sugar, the pasta. I cheated a little bit over the holidays, but, just doing what I do.
How's the book tour coming?
It's doing great. It's going to kick back up as soon as this weather breaks. It's just been so cold. And it's probably going to get even worse and windy and rainy. And as soon as the weather breaks, people start going out again. We're going to do Villanova, Temple. We got a bunch of book signings lined up, so it should be some fun.
What's been the toughest question for you to answer during this whole book tour of yours?
There's been a bunch of them, man. Would you do it all over again? What did you learn from, the whole experience? Like, it's so complex and there's so many moving parts that it's not a simple answer, and you want to go back in time and you got to be who you were back then, not who you are today, because, they say what's that old saying? If you're the same person at 50 you were at 20, well, then you really haven't learned anything in life. So you got to put your mindset, back 20, 30 years and how the times were different. Finances were different. You were caught in the matrix. So they're difficult questions to answer.
How about this one? Do you think you'd be the same person you are today if you weren't in a Yuma jail serving time? Do you think you'd be the same guy today, or do you think you would be a different person today if you hadn't gone through that adversity?
I could be dead. I mean, I might not be here. I might have been doing more time because I did something crazier afterwards that I didn't get caught doing that. I would have been a completely different person. What prison taught me was a lot of patience, a lot of inner peace, which I didn't have before. Sitting still for more than 10, 15 minutes in one place for me back then was extremely difficult. You always, the action was always moving. You're always looking over your shoulder. You know what's going to happen next. So it taught me how to find myself who I really was, find some inner peace, and taught me a lot of patience.
Do you think being in jail gave you more clarity on life?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you learn to appreciate every second you're out here. You learn to appreciate the little things in life, family, children, your wife, your mom. Before you're like, I'll go see him later, or let me go take care of something. And then you get out of prison. You value every priceless second that you're on here, every breath you take. And it teaches you a lot.
Did Mike Caines teach you anything last night about what we may see next week, potentially, whoever they play? I'll get to the other game, but did you like Mike Caines? How about this? Not just last night. They beat A&M. They beat Ohio State. Now they beat a 13-1 Ole Miss team to punch their ticket to the national championship game. What did you learn about that Canes team? You think they can run the distance?
Yeah, they can beat anyone. And actually, last night's game, the score was closer than what really transpired on the field. The refs were with Mississippi all game. Miami made a couple, mistakes. They could have won that game by 10, 14 points if the ball bounced their way and they didn't make any mistakes. Now, obviously, it's football. You're going to make some mistakes. But if they play a clean game, if they play at the best of their ability, they can beat anyone.
Xander told me a crazy number. They had the ball for 41 minutes in that game, and Ole Miss only had the ball for 18 minutes in that game. So let me ask you this last one on that game last night. If Lane Kiffin was on that sidelines, you think that makes a difference for Ole Miss and they maybe pull that game out?
I mean, it wouldn't have hurt. It's just shocking. Like, they got to change the rules or.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Come on. I mean, this is a team that could have won the national championship. Now, they fell short against Miami. I think Miami was the better team. I bet Miami last night. They were the more complete team throughout the year. But in a one-game scenario, anything's possible. And they had beaten an Oklahoma team earlier in the year that had a defense comparable to Miami's, was just as good. And they put up, 34 points on them. They put up over 400 total yards against that Oklahoma team. So, yeah, I think he would have made a difference. Now, could they have won the game? Who knows? But it wouldn't have hurt, I'll tell you that much, having him on the field.
Absolutely. All right, so tonight's game, How do you see this bad puppy here? I believe that IU, and if I'm looking at it, 3-point favorites, 50.5. Who do you got in tonight's game to punch their ticket to the national championship game against that Canes team? What do you like?
I mean, the game opened up 4.5. It went down to 3.5. I'm seeing 3s in some locations. Total actually went up a little bit. A lot of public money, early public money. It's all over Indiana, like 70% of the time, 70% of the action, early bets, and that should, worry you a little bit if you're looking to bet the favorite here. I think the game's a coin flip, Dan. I got a slight lean towards Indiana. I think they're probably going to win the game, but when it comes to covering a 3.5-point spread, I think Oregon's the right side here, plus 3.5. This Ducks team's battle tested. They entered the playoffs with the second toughest strength of schedule of any college football team in the nation this year. So they played some of the better teams. When it comes to ball security, they're almost as good as Indiana. Indiana's ranked number 1 in turnover margin. I think Oregon's like 13th. So they're stingy with the football. They don't make too many mistakes. Offensively, when it comes to yards per play, the stats are pretty close. I think Oregon's offensive line is better than Indiana's, but Indiana's defensive line is better. At quarterback, I kind of give the edge to Mendoza. He has had the better season. He won the Heisman. But this feels like a game where the team that has the ball last is probably going to win the game and probably win by a field goal. I think it's a coin flip. Give me Oregon plus 3.5, even though I think Indiana wins the game.
Okay, how about this little nugget here? So if IU wins this game, I was telling Xander this, if they win this game, the quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, went to Columbus High School, and he wins the Heisman. He's a South Florida kid, right? Mario Cristobal went to Columbus High School. So you're talking about the head coach going against the kid who went to Columbus High School. He's an explorer. So you talk about little Havana going nuts with all the Cuban guys down there. I can't wait. I mean, it's in South Florida. Do you know this too? So look at us. I was just showing my 2 national championship rings here that I have. And of the 5, 3 of them have been won at the Orange Bowl, the old Orange Bowl. We're the first team in the BCS in the college football playoff to host a game at home. So we got that game at Hard Rock too. So I'm not saying we'll be favored. I'm not saying we'll be favored in that game, but what do you think the opening line would be in that game for Miami and say Indiana, if Indiana does get there?
Probably like 4.5 points, but I like Miami at plus 4.5 points. Hurricanes got the best offensive line in the country, maybe the best defensive line. Carson Beck, I mean, he played against some of the best defenses when he played at Georgia in the SEC, so he's battle tested. One thing that worries me a little bit is he has thrown 10 interceptions during the year, and he threw one last night, even though it was a fluke interception last night. But yeah, he's not going to get rattled. They can run the ball, and they got a lot of speed on defense. That Miami defense is fast. So if you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay. And they can run with anyone. Indiana's more methodical, slower paced, a lot of grunt work. Strong defensive line. They run the ball well, very well coached. But, at the end of the year, national championship game in Miami, anything can happen.
All right, I'm going to get right into it here because I'm going to do a little bit of props, and I want to see what you say in this. So the game is now, and you tell me why this has gone so much. And Mike North tried telling me, and I lean on you guys to tell me about point spread. It's now 6. I think it opened up at 3.5, and now it's at 44.5, the over-under in this thing. Boy, that number has really swung. And he said that sometimes casinos, what they'll do is they'll load the number up to try to entice other people to try to sit there and potentially start going on the Niner side here. How do you read this here, man? Because that's a pretty big point spread. And I know that they've lost a lot over on that side of the football. I'm talking San Francisco, no Fred Warner, Hufanga's now in Denver, what have you. I get it. 6 points at home, 49ers roll in on Sunday. How do you see that game?
I mean, yeah, like you said, open to 3.5. It's up to 5.5, 6. The total went from 46.5 down to 44.5. So odds makers aren't expecting a lot of points. But money moves the market. A lot of the early action has actually been on San Francisco. Last I checked, about 60% of the public money is on San Fran, but the line's going the other way. And in this business, that's called reverse line movement. That basically tells you the sharp money's on the Eagles and the public money is on San Fran. Now, obviously, the public's looking at their records. 49ers had one more win on the season, but they had one of the easiest strength of schedules this year. I think they ranked like 19th overall in strength of schedule. They had only 3 wins against teams with winning records all season. So if you're looking to bet, on the 49ers, that should worry you a little bit. The Eagles are a much healthier team heading into Sunday. I think they got like a plus 12 health score advantage over San Fran. I mean, San Fran's been banged up all year, and that when you're that much healthier in the playoffs, it's huge, Dan. If you're looking to bet the total this week, the over and under, pay attention to the wind. They're expecting 15-mile-per-hour winds in Philly. It might get worse. So anytime you got high winds, usually the game stays under the posted total because the teams can't pass the ball as well. There's more running, more time being chewed up on the clock. Now, even though I think the Eagles are the superior team and they've played the tougher strength of schedule, it's hard laying 6 points on a team whose offense has sputtered down the stretch. I mean, they haven't been putting up a lot of points. If you just take away that Raiders and Commanders game, not the one from last week, but the one from 2 weeks ago, in their last 6 games, they've been averaging 15 points per game on offense. So you got to cover 6 point spread and you're only putting up 15 points a game. That could be a problem. Instead of laying the 6, you probably bet off taking the Eagles in a teaser, teasing down to plus 1.5, make them an underdog, and maybe tie them in with either the Steelers or at plus 10, or maybe the Jags at plus 7. But I'm not looking to lay 6 points on this Eagles team with that offense. I mean, they sputtered all year. I know they got some guys coming back on the offensive line, and guys on defense, but still, San Fran can put up points. They still won 11 games on the season. They beat 11 NFL teams. That's never easy to do. So I would put the Eagles in a teaser instead of betting them straight up.
When you're looking at that in schedule, let me ask you if you take this into account. The Eagles didn't play in a better division than what the Niners did, and they split with both Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams, and they did beat Chicago.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you kind of offset that when you go, well, wait a minute here. You look at what they did. Okay, I agree. Their schedule, if you look at the other holes and slots that they had, there's no doubt they were the 4th easiest schedule in pro football at the beginning of the year. But as we know with college football, Penn State and Clemson and LSU were picked to be in the top 5. They weren't even They weren't even in the top 25 at the end of the year. So things change with injuries and all that. So do you look at that schedule and do you kind of go, well, San Francisco, if you look at it in some areas, they have better numbers than Philadelphia does on defense.
Well, I mean offense, definitely. And the strength of conference is big. The health score advantage on a week-to-week basis. You got to go back and see how healthy were these teams when these teams won or lost a game, and how healthy they are now. You got to go before the season started, their projected season win total, and say, okay, the Eagles were supposed to win 11.5 games. San Fran was supposed to win 9.5 games. But what transpired during the season, and where are these teams now when it comes to health? And that's basically, you're trying to get an educated guess that carries some weight, and you're trying to beat the Vegas market. And that's all you can do. You can just look at, every aspect of the season, who's coming back, what are they worth to the production numbers, and then you fire away and try to make some money.
All right, I want to do this. Do you think Jalen Hurts goes over or under 170 yards passing?
It really depends on the wind. If the winds pick up, probably not. If they stay below 10 miles an hour, I can see him having a big game against that 49ers pass defense that, they gave up 38 points. Was it 38 points to the Bears? They've been giving up points all year. They're banged up. I think the Eagles' health advantage when it comes to pass defense is a plus 10 or plus 12. So health-wise, the Eagles have a big advantage there on defense. And, I can see Jalen Hurts using his legs more in the playoffs where he didn't want to use them during the regular season. And that can also open up the pass game because now the defense is going to be a little hesitant. They're not going to be able to just stack the box or, play the way they played against them during the regular season.
What about Barkley? You think he goes over 69.5 yards?
I think they're going to focus in on him. And I don't think that Eagles offensive line is perfectly healthy and they're not as good as last season. 69.5, is that what you said then?
Yeah.
It's going to be right there. For the Eagles to win, he's got to go over. So I would say over.
A.J. Brown, over 59 yards in this game.
That seems light. I like him anytime touchdown. I think you can grab plus 150. So if you lay $100, you win back 150. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the weather too, man. If the weather gets bad, no. But if the weather stays moderately nice, below, like I said, below 10 miles an hour, yeah, he can go over 59 receiving yards, definitely.
How about this with McCaffrey and dual yards? How about this? This guy had 102 catches this year, like 994 or something, like whatever it was, 986 in catching yards, and he had like 1,200 yards rushing. You think he goes over 110 total yards in this game?
Total yards, man, it's right there. I got him anytime touchdown minus 135. If the 49ers want any chance of winning this game, he's going to have to. So 110.
Hey, he's got to go like a little more.
And look at his gene pool. His dad was an NFL player. His mom was an Olympian.
Yeah,
I mean, this kid, he's got the best inside. Kid's a stud.
He's the Cooper DeJean of offense. I mean, I love Cooper DeJean now, dating a 44-year-old chick. He's got it going on. This guy's like a dope dude, man. He's my favorite player in the NFL. When I grow up one day, Godfather, I want to be Cooper DeJean. All right, let's get to the rest of the games here. This game's freaky, man. I'll tell you why. Because this Panther team is a physical team, and I think the Rams struggle sometimes with physical football teams. They beat the Green Bay Packers. They beat the Cowboys. I mean, they've played a lot of one-score football games. I'm not in any way telling you that they're good. However, this number has just gone up a half a point. It was 10 a couple minutes ago. Now it's 10.5. Rams go into Carolina on the road. What do you see here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of early public money on the Rams. I think last time I checked in the U.S. and offshore market, like 70% of the action is on L.A., so that move really doesn't mean much in the market, from 10 to 10.5. Both teams are actually healthy this time around. Both defenses are in excellent shape. They're healthy as well. Matt Stafford's probably the MVP. I like him over Bryce Young, even though Young's exceeded all expectations this year. Devontae Adams is back. That's got to be big for their offense. But 10 points is a lot to lay in a wild card game. But I kind of feel like this is the spot where the Rams flip the switch, especially now that they're truly healthy, and they haven't looked the best down the stretch, but I think they flipped that switch this week. Panthers beat them last time. Last time they played, they were a 10-point dog, and the Panthers won outright, but the Rams turned the ball over 3 times in that matchup, and I don't see that happening again. I haven't played the side yet. I'm leaning towards the Rams, but I like the under 47 or 46.5. 47 is obviously a better number, but I think these defenses are going to come to play. They're going to come out a little conservative. Nobody wants to make that first turnover, run the ball, chew the clock. And I know last time they scored 59 points when they met up in, week 13, but both defenses were really banged up then, and now they're really healthy. So I like the under 47, 46.5. If you tease the Rams down to -3 and go under 53.5, I think you cash that ticket as well. But I think the Rams turn the switch on this week, and they show the NFL who they really are.
Over under on 225 yards passing for Stafford.
I like the over.
Yeah, I think he has a big game in here too. But I do think that game has a shot at being close because of how physical the Panthers are here. But you think they show up here in the Rams and they show the NFC who they are. All right, let's go to a game. Now, hey, real quick, were you shocked that the Eagles surrendered the second 2-hole by resting their players the last week against Washington? Because here, let's do this. If Chicago wins, that decision now puts the Eagles on the road, and not counting Super Bowls, Nick Sirianni's never won a playoff game on the road. Yeah. So then you have to go to Chicago, and I'm not saying you can't beat them, and you're not in fear of them in any way. However, you still got to do something that you're not comfortable doing. That's leaving Philly. And every time they've left Philly, they've lost games. Buccaneers, they've lost a couple times to them. What'd you make of that? Were you a fan of them resting the players? Because Chicago ended up getting upset by Detroit at the end.
Yeah, well, right now, no one's a fan of it, right?
Yeah.
But if someone would have got injured, then you would have been like, oh, why are they playing these guys? So it's kind of like Monday morning quarterback. It would have been nice for them to have the, number 2 seed, but I think it's a little nicer that the team's finally healthy. No one got banged up, and they're the Super Bowl champs. They're probably going to be favored in every game they play in the playoffs. At home, and then if they play Seattle in Seattle, if it gets there, Game's probably a pick 'em, so they're the odds-on favorite. In my opinion, I think they're the most battle-tested team, and they're going to surprise some people in the playoffs.
If they get into the second round and the Eagles get to the second round and they have to go to Philly, in your opinion, do you think that the Rams would be favored going into Philly?
No, I think the Philly Eagles would be a slight favorite. It really depends on who gets injured this week too. That's big. Injuries are big when it comes to the point spread, key positions on the field, centers, linebackers, quarterbacks. Obviously is the biggest, and cluster injuries. But no, the Eagles would be a slight favorite.
Packers and Bears, 1.5. It's 44.5. It's in Chicago. Who do you like here?
Yeah, they're expecting some bad weather. Winds,
Bad weather.
20 miles an hour, snow, showers.
Coming off the lake.
Yeah, I mean, it's both teams have played in bad. They come from bad weather locations, but it's kind of difficult to handicap this game because there's so much variance when it comes to weather. I mean, so many crazy things can happen. You've seen them before in bad weather games. And then when you go back to Week 16 in Chicago, it took a miracle for the Bears to beat the Packers, and Jordan Love wasn't even on the field. So that kind of makes you like sway towards the Packers a little bit. It gives you that lead, like, oh, well, you know what? The Bears were lucky to beat Green Bay, and Jordan Love didn't start. But if you go back 2 weeks before that in Week 14 at Lambeau, the Packers were lucky to win that game. I mean, the Bears outplayed them. They had more first downs. They won the time possession by like 7 or 8 minutes. And then, they're down to the 5-yard line before Caleb Williams threw that interception, or else maybe the Bears would have won that game with Jordan Love in the field in Green Bay. So this is a tough game to handicap. The Bears, number one in turnover differential. That's huge when you're playing in bad weather games. The team that wins the turnover differential usually wins the game. The Bears are the healthier team on offense and defense. That's big this week. I think the wins help the Bears defense because they're not the best. They're, mediocre at best, and those wins will make it more difficult for Jordan Love to pass the ball down the field. So that kind of gives, I think, the Bears a slight edge. The Bears are a much better running team. I think they're ranked 4th or 5th in yards per rush attempt. The Packers are like 23rd or 24th in that metric. So bad weather game, turnover differential favors the Bears. The wind favors the Bears. The running game favors the Bears. I kind of like the Bears a little bit, man. Give me the 1.5 points on the Bears. I mean,
I'm taking the Bears myself.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. One of my friends here who is pretty good. He's a pretty good sports guy. Look at this. We're going to find out a little bit more, but Jalen Hurts took a shit on Kevin Patullo in the presser today. You never get enough good news coming out of Philadelphia, man. And you never – just heading into the postseason, I'd like to know what he said here too. So Hurts took a crap on Kevin Patullo, who's been, in my opinion, appreciate it, Marsh. Thanks for giving us the update. Post over here, by the way, and let me know what he said because I'd like to know what he said. All right. I think this is going to be another interesting ball game. Bills and Jaguars, another 1.5 game. 51.5. Buffalo goes down to Jacksonville.
It's a tough game, too. I mean, you're going up against Superman. He puts that cape on. He can beat anyone, Josh Allen. But the Jags are the healthier. I think they're the healthiest team of any team in the NFL this week, and they got the highest health score. They got a +10 health advantage over the Bills when it comes to pass defense. +7 overall health advantage over Buffalo. That's big. Jacksonville ranks higher than Buffalo in season-long DVOA. And defensively, the Jags have 9 more interceptions on the year. And I think they had 11 more takeaways. So, takeaways and turnovers are big in the playoffs. Their run defense ranks 25 spots higher in opponent yards per rush attempt. And that's huge in the playoffs because the team that outgains their opponent on the ground usually wins the game in the playoffs. So if Buffalo can't stop the run, they could have some issues here. The Jags actually have had the tougher strength of schedule. I think they had like the 3rd toughest strength of schedule in the NFL this season. So they've done it against some really good teams. They beat 5 teams, during the regular season that made the playoffs this year. This Jags team's for real. Betting against Josh Allen is always a little scary. And this Bills offense is one of the best in the NFL when it comes to yards per play, points per game. But with that said, I mean, both teams are averaging right around 28 points per game. So this Jags offense, they're not that bad either. Defensively, Jags maybe the fourth or fifth best defensive team in the league this year. I think the Jags are the more complete team on both sides of the football, the healthier team. I think they're the right team to invest in. I think they shocked the world this week. I think they beat the Bills as home dogs. And I actually took my 14-1 to win the Super Bowl. If they can beat Josh Allen this week, he's the best QB in the AFC. They can beat anyone in the AFC, and they might run the table. This is the week you're going to find out how good this Jags team is. If they can upset, and win this game, they're going to be hard to beat, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's go to Foxborough. 3.5. Patriots, Chargers. 45.5 on some places. Chargers offensive line has issues heading into this. Patriots, I don't know who they are. Drake May's had a sensational year, along with who I think is going to win the Coach of the Year award in Mike Vrabel. What do you got here?
I'm with you, man. I can't put my finger on how good this Patriots team is. Obviously, 14 wins is extremely impressive. They got a plus 170 point differential on the year, which is the best in the AFC. I think it's the third best in the league behind the Seahawks and the Rams. Like you said, Mike Vrabel, one of my favorite coaches, one of the best in second half adjustments while he's been a coach. Drake May's played lights out. But they've had the easiest strength of schedule of any team in the league. And they've played the most banged up teams in the NFL. They had a average +7 health advantage each and every week. So not only did they play the weakest schedule, they played teams that were really banged up each and every week, but they did what they had to do. They still got a plus 170 point differential. It wasn't like they were just barely beating these teams. They were really schooling these teams. The only thing that bothers me about the Patriots is when they stepped up against the better defensive teams like the Saints, the Steelers, and the Falcons, they didn't look that impressive. They lost to the Steelers. They beat the Falcons by a point. And I think they beat the Saints by 6 points, but the Saints lost a turnover battle in that game, and the Saints offense stinks. So now you're playing a more complete team. This is going to be the best defense they've faced all year. Chargers pass defense, one of the best in the league. When it comes to pressure rate, sack rate, this is the best team they've faced all season, other than Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh gave them problems. They're at home. The ball's been bouncing their way. They've been one of the luckiest teams in the NFL. Do they lose the game? Probably not, but I like the Chargers plus 3.5 points. I think they can stay within that Vegas number. Their defense is that good. Their coach is that good. And other than Josh Allen, this is probably the best quarterback they've faced all season, Justin Herbert.
Absolutely. The only concern I would have about the Chargers is a dome team going to Gillette. And Manning always struggled going to Gillette, and so when you take a dome team, there's only been like 3 or 4 dome teams in the last 15 years win Super Bowls. So that's always kind of an issue with, especially when you have to go up to Gillette and play that team. So it's always like kind of hit or miss with those teams.
Yeah. Pay attention to the weather. I don't think the weather's going to be that bad. Pay attention to the weather.
Yeah. Monday night, Steelers and Texans, best defense in pro football, I think. I think that defense has had a better year even than the Eagle defense of a year ago. That's how historic D'Amico Ryan's defense. Then you got Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, it's +3. Texans will roll in. The Texans offense is not like a high octane. They do have Nico Collins. They got some pieces on that side of the ball. How do you see that game on Monday night in Pittsburgh?
It feels like an old school smash mouth type of football game. Yeah,
low scoring kind of game.
Yeah, both teams, when it comes to ball security, top 5 in turnover differential, so they don't make a lot of mistakes. Houston appears to be the more complete team on both sides of the football, in my opinion. They rank 8 spots higher than Pittsburgh in DVOA. The Texans rank 9 spots better than the Steelers in 8 yards per play this season. Offensively, with Aaron Rodgers, I give the edge to Pittsburgh here. He's battle tested, Hall of Famer. Won a Super Bowl. You're not going to rattle him, even though that defensive line is pretty scary. I think the biggest disparity between both teams is on the defensive line. Houston's defensive metrics a lot better. Man, this is a tough game. You got a Steelers team. It's tough going into Pittsburgh and winning. They're catching points at home. Super Bowl quarterback. It's tough, man. The only thing that scared me about Pittsburgh is anytime they played a top 10 defense this year, I think they're 2-5 straight up. They lost to the Seahawks, the Packers and the Chargers, and they beat a Vikings team. I think Carson Wentz was starting that game. He threw 2 or 3 interceptions. So they got lucky there. And then they split with the Browns. So anytime they faced a really good defense, this Steelers team has had some issues. And this is the best defense they're going to play all year, probably the best in the NFL. But again, it's 3 points. It's at home. I kind of like the Texans on the money line, -160. Unless you want to buy the half a point, take the Texans down to -2.5, -130. I think the Texans win the game, but it's going to be another one of those close games.
If you had to pick between Jaguars, Broncos, or Patriots to get out of the AFC, who do you think you'd take?
Jaguars. It all comes down to this week. If the Jags beat Josh Allen, they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
They got to beat Josh Allen. If they can beat Josh Allen, they can beat anyone. Who's better than Josh Allen in the AFC?
No, I got it.
Yeah. So if you beat him, you make a statement, and all of a sudden the whole league's like, oh my God, they beat Josh Allen. And watch those odds plummet from 14-1 to like 4 to 5-1. They got the 4th best DVOA of any team in the playoffs. The 2nd best DVOA of any team in the AFC. Only the Texans are ranked slightly higher. The only thing that scares me about the Jags is Trevor Lawrence. You know, he gets some brain cramps once in a while. That's an issue, but coaching matters. Their coach has done a tremendous job this year. Their defense has been lights out. I think they're 3rd in turnover differential. That's huge. I think they got the 2nd most takeaways on defense on the season. It all comes down to this week. If they can beat Josh Allen, they're going to scare a lot of people.
Well, when your quarterback looks like Lassie, you know that there's a problem. And hey, brother, tell the folks where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Philly Godfather. The website is thephillygodfather.com, and pick up my new book. Yeah, they're right there, booked.
There you go.
It's on Amazon, ship to order. If you go to phillybook.com, I'll send you out an autographed copy. It may take 3 to 7 business days. And go Hurricanes, man. We were on a big last night. We were on the over, and they might shock the world. Yeah.
I know, man. I'm looking forward to it. Brother, I will see you soon. Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
You got it. That is the legendary Philly Godfather. Look at my boy Marsh turning into Big Sills here. I don't know, Sills. What do you think? Let me pay some bills. Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America. You're learning well there, Marsh. I got you, man. They are the #1 injury law firm because they have results for you and your family. Family run. And by the way, every single member of the Morgan family now is involved with running this because this is what they've done their entire 30 years putting this firm together, is representing families like you. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's FORthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529, and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face. Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers. to the shot takers and the tastemakers. Welcome to the viewfinders, the thrill seekers, and the night owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I've got Eagles 23-17 over San Francisco. So we will see you on the pregame, or we will see you Monday going 2-6. Have yourselves a great weekend. I also have Indiana tonight in a tight one. Have them around 28-21. I think they win that ball game tonight, and I think they put some points on the board, and I think they punch their ticket to play Miami in the national championship game the following Monday. We appreciate all of you. Big Z, Joe, thank you very much, and we will see you on the flip side.